Hi, everybody.
Keep
Hi.
going.
I could. I won't.
Welcome to tonight's episode of Infinite Horizon.
Shit,
Coming
I
with
thought
some-
you were just breaking.
No, I was not joking. We are live, Olivia. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's episode of Infinite Horizon, the first episode of 2022. I almost said the wrong year because I don't know what year it is. I almost said
Fair.
what time
First
it is.
episode of 2020, part 3.
In a
Let's
galaxy
go.
far, far away.
2020 part 3. Oof.
Welcome, everybody. We are here. We're back tonight with God, what episode is this? Like in the season.
In the season?
I think this is 10, 9, 10, one of those.
No.
I didn't
wait,
study that
oh.
question.
Yes, I can tell
I
you.
think it's episode
1, 2.
9.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, is it episode 9?
It's a number.
10.
10. Okay, that sounds right.
We started on 59.
Okay. Wait, so it
Ah.
is 9? 9.
Yes. 10.
10.
10? 9.
Oh,
We
boy.
don't know what episode this is.
Whatever it
But
is.
whatever episode it is, it's the
768.
last
68.
that episode of Infinite Horizon ever. No, it is.
I just
it's-
ate it and abetted in that. That was what that was.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
John Numa, it is very specifically not the 69th
It is not.
episode. We know this
Please
for a
live.
fact.
We know this. Yeah.
Yeah.
We know this
It's
for a
actually
fact.
nice -1.
Yeah. Don't worry. I have it marked in my calendar. And my calendar notified me today because it was supposed to be, because we were supposed to come back last week and then today would have. So it's not, it's next week. So, yes.
I'm the heathen who counts episodes by how many total we have. And I always get confused. Luke's like, what episode is this? And he's like, no, in the season, Caitlin. I'm like, fuck if I know, dude. So I've been watching us get closer and closer to 69, like since Remy was with us.
Yeah. So, oh no. Here we go. Meme poll. All right. Y'all know what to
It
do.
was. God.
All right. So, before we get started, in theory, I have some announcements. And in theory, I will remember what they all are in a like timely fashion. Anyway, we are back, everybody, and we have, with our coming back, we have some changes to a lot of the stuff that we're doing on like Patreon and whatever. I mentioned it briefly on Ramblemancy, and many patrons who like, especially particularly the world builders, got a little bit more insight into that last night. But a bunch of our tiers on Patreon are changing. Like, we're not changing, we're not getting rid of any of the stuff that we're already doing, but we are changing how some of those things work, and we are adding some new stuff. There will be probably a full post detailing everything that we're adding and changing going out on Patreon this week. But for now, if you really, really want to know the whole scope of it, I went into in depth on Ramblemancy at the very beginning of the episode last week on Friday. So if you really, really want to know, you can go and check that out. So lots of changes coming to the Patreon. But in particular, I would like to highlight in this particular moment the addition at the $5 tier of our Patreon of Beyond the Roll, which will be a anthology series, Patreon exclusive anthology series of kind of everything, little side adventures and stuff that doesn't have time to be shown on our main streams and stuff like that. And the first one, we already announced what it was going to be, but for those of you who watched Thunder and Blood and were very excited about it, our first episode is going to be following the one and only manic mechanic Jace, and a new character that you haven't seen before, played by our very own resident bard, Mr. Jonathan Boyle. One goes by the name of Cam Phantasmic, the Rocker Boy.
Oh my god.
You're gonna see. Okay, I love this.
Thank.
It's be so good.
So it's going to be extremely chaotic. So stay tuned for that. We're going to be recording that this week, and it'll be going up on our Patreon. So if y'all are excited to see some of the like side adventures, some of the things that happen just post Thunder and Blood, you know where to find it. It's on our Patreon. So I'm very excited about that, and I'm very excited because it'll allow us the opportunity to explore a lot of stuff that we wouldn't normally get the chance to explore in the scope of just our regular streams. It'll give us a chance to revisit some of our like favorite one-offs and short shots and that sort of stuff if we so choose. So yeah, we have lots of big plans for that kind of stuff, for that kind of thing. That was the main one. The other big Patreon announcement that I wanted to make sure to say here is we do have a survey going out, which John has been kind enough to link in the chat, about our Patreon, for current patrons and for those who actually it's for everybody basically, because there are some questions in there that are for people who are specifically not patrons, and it would be very, very useful. Your feedback would be very useful to us because we've decided to stop trying to guess what everybody would want and just ask you. So, yeah. So if you could, if you are so inclined and you would like to fill out that survey, it's there. It's also in the Discord, pinned in the suggestion box channel, so you can go find it there as well. John Numa asking very important questions. Will Jace get dinner? Well, you're just gonna have to tune in and find out.
It's the whole one shot.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
the whole one.
dinner.
Okay,
It's
not
a date.
entirely wrong, because we have joked a little bit about their whole adventure being just a trip down to the bodega that goes horribly wrong, and we have likened it to Harold and Kumar go to White Castle, but like in Cyberpunk. So like, I don't know if that's what it's actually going to end up being, but listen, it could be. Anyway, that's what I've got as far as Patreon stuff. Many of you may have noticed that we do have our sub goal bar down there, just right down there, and that is your ticket to unlocking once again the Rule of Lore Among Us community night. It will be chaotic and very fun. I guarantee you that. So yeah, that's we've got that going still. We've got that going up, at least for the remainder of this month and probably February, since we don't have a lot of time this month and February is a short month anyway. But yeah, so we're keeping that goal for both months. So yeah, I think that's most of the announcements. This Friday on Ramblemancy, our very own Colin Counterspell Kelly will be here joining us to talk about lore. So if you're interested in that, we'll be back to talk all about our various takes on lore and how to implement it, how to present it to players, all that kind of stuff, how to write it even. So yeah, that's what we got. I don't know if I have anything else specific. Anybody else have announcements you want to get at the top of this?
Fireplace Season 5 is not starting this week. We moved it again. It's coming back next Sunday. I'm very excited and terrified, and it's gonna be fun. What else? Oh, also, I'm doing coffee tier stuff. So if you want to look at my sketchbook, which is now cresting upon 30 pages from the last month, a bunch of things that don't get posted. Some that have, but a lot of it hasn't posted. You want to get it on that? It's my coffee. I haven't done any real promotion for. I'm like, I'll make a promo post eventually, and all I've done is like post screenshots of the tiers. So I'll do that. But if you want to see all that, that's coming at the end of the month. I know some folks already have, and you're great. So come check out all my unsolved mysteries of the shit I don't post.
I'm gonna be over. My only real announcement is I'm gonna be over on Hit Point Press's Twitch channel. I'm gonna be playing in the Seeds of Decay one shot with a bunch of awesome people. I'm very excited about my character because I'm gonna be playing a tree. I'm gonna be playing a sycamore tree sapling called Moore. So I'm very excited about that. So you can find me on Hit Point Press. I'm on Twitch at, I believe, 5 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, and on Friday I'm gonna be coming back as a guest again over on Stella Luna's channel as Dari, the Champion of Time, which is going to be very fun. So you can find me over on Stella Luna on Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific or 9 p.m. Eastern. But that's pretty much it.
All right. Is that it for our announcements? Freeman, remind me if I've forgotten anything important.
Oh boy, I don't think so, but that
just the immediate panic of have I forgotten to talk about something.
I'd like to announce that I'm very excited to be back with Infinite Horizon.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, with that, let us get into the first episode of Infinite Horizon of the year. Let's go. And we're back. Hello. Okay, so I love the captions. It's just party time, so that's great. Um, okay, previously on Infinite Horizon, the Resistance found themselves in need of allies after losing their base to a corporate siege instigated by Onira, the Peach from an alternate universe. Uh, Following one of the few leads available to them, the crew headed to the Border Worlds to follow up on Mason's oldest cold case, where they met a syndicate known as the Usurpers. The Usurpers promised to help the Resistance retake Sulan if they could expose the ties between a rival syndicate, the Alziras, and the Regulators. The crew agreed to help, and Mason reached out to his old commanding officer, Captain Iselik, aboard the RPS Harrier for more information. Using a cover story given to them by Captain Iselik, the crew interrogated regulators aboard the RPS Harrier in search of Alzira's syndicate ties. Before they could perform more than a cursory investigation, they were discovered by the ship's commanding officer, Colonel Kazik. Unwilling to allow civilians to meddle in the regulator's affairs, Kazik demanded that the crew remove themselves from his ship and leave the matter to internal affairs. But a quick use of Peach's powers bought them a reprieve. If the crew could bring him evidence of corruption within 24 hours, he would act on it. Following a set of leads from Captain Iselik, the crew split up. While Bina and Teon searched the crew's quarters for clues, Peach and Mason tracked down Chief Petty Officer Crane, a regulator who served on the same ship as Mason during his initial investigation into Alziras. Cornering him as he left an airlock, Mason pushed him for information. Crane cracked and showed Mason a stash of stimulants he was responsible for distributing inside the airlock. As Mason examined the evidence, Crane sealed the airlock doors and initiated an emergency cycle, venting the stimulants and Mason into the cold vacuum of space. And one thing additionally, that is where we left off. However, one thing additionally is that during the course of their investigation, Bina and Teon received a transmission from Ada, who had been sifting through regulator communications and files, who found that at the time of Mason's court-martial and basically washing out of the regulators, he had apparently passed the psych eval that was the inciting incident for him being discharged from the regulators, but an addendum later had shown that one Captain Iselik had advised that Mason was unfit for duty, thereby wrongfully expelling Mason from the regulators and heavily implicating him as the Alziras contact. So, that is where we left off. Coming on back in, we are going to start up with this is interesting. I actually did not give any thought as to where specifically we were going to start. So this is a fun time that we're all going to experience together. We are going to start.
Nothing pressing, right? I mean, we
No,
can
really
really
could
just
start anywhere,
hang
I
out,
think.
right?
We are going to start with Bina and Teon having just received this groundbreaking news from Ada. Y'all have just there's sort of a moment of stunned silence that sort of fills the air in the barracks, the regulator barracks, as the two of you process the information that you've just received. As the realization begins to dawn on you, the pieces starting to fall into place. What would you like to do?
Need to get in contact. That can't be good. I'm gonna immediately try and get communications up and reach out to either Mason or Peach. Just be like, is everything okay? There's a chance that we're not safe right now, kind of deal. Just gonna get comms up.
Okay.
Peach, Mason.
Dealing with something right now. Can it wait?
What are you dealing with? Because it might be related. Where are you?
Currently I'm trying to get Mason, who has just been launched into space.
Okay. Where are you?
Okay.
And we're I don't know where on the ship are we exactly?
You, Peach, are kind of near kind of the hangar bays. You're in one of the airlocks, or in one of the the bank of airlocks that is just sort of I think it's just adjacent to the hangars.
Okay. Send you my location. Are there any looking around and kind of looking at the area where we are? Would there be any small escape pods or something I could use to easily launch out and get him, or anything in the area around here?
There's some doors nearby. You're not sure where they go, other than the one that you came through, which was sort of a maintenance access corridor. Otherwise, no. There's just airlocks here.
As soon as we hear, oh, Mason's been launched into space, Bina's immediately holding out her hand to Tan, anticipating a teleport.
Yeah, I'm immediately gonna grab onto Bina's hand and teleport as close to. Because I don't know if we've been to the airlocks yet, if I've seen them, but as close
You've been to the
area.
hangar, because that is where Awakener is. So you've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, then I'll just.
Peach would have sent you her location.
Yeah, I'll teleport there then. And as I'm grabbing onto Bina's hand and I'll just say into the comms, Selek is a traitor, and then bam, just immediately.
Fuck.
As soon as we get into the hangar bay, I want to find Peach's emotion. I want to find Peach. I don't want us to waste any time looking. I want to try to see if I can figure out where she is. And
I'm gonna have you make a roll.
Yes, that makes sense.
This is gonna be an intellect task. The difficulty of which is going to be 4.
Cool. Sensing emotions or dispositions.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. This is not a social interaction.
I don't think you need to roll on this one.
I'm using my brain. I'm not using my eyes.
For this one, that would definitely come into play.
Task involving sight?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I don't
Okay,
think
yeah.
you need to roll on this one.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Cool. Where's the Peach?
Yeah. So you look around and you don't sense Peach, but you do sort of clock a very anxious and almost very high adrenaline kind of anxious fear, and anger. And as you clock that, you turn and you look and you see a dock worker, one of the hangar bay personnel rushing out of a maintenance access corridor and kind of glancing over his shoulder as he grabs a bag from the rack nearby, just puts it over his shoulder and just starts rushing as quickly as he could out of the towards the exit to the hangar.
Tam probably very clearly sees Bina notice this.
Yes.
And it's kind of that seems promising. I guess, did we see the face? Was when we were given the file of Petty Officer Crane, did we see, did we have a photo of him,
I imagine you probably did.
an
yes.
ID photo? So
I'm
would I
certain
recognize
you
that
did.
as Crane?
Yeah. You actually also saw him in person before you split up.
Oh, okay.
Because
yes,
I think
that's
you were
true,
all
yeah.
here before and then you split up.
Cool.
Mhm.
Then if I knew that was him and I knew that my friends
Yeah.
were talking to him and he seems concerned, we're gonna go that way.
Mhm. Are you intercepting
Looking
Crane, or are
at
you
it.
just going where he came from?
I think as we start moving that way, I look at Tan. I'm like, should we get?
You just go and find Mason, and I'm gonna rush towards this.
Okay.
So-
Oh, I'm doing Mason retrieval. Okay. I run to my Peach.
I'm just like Peach is like opening doors, like she's literally trying to find like anything around here that can like be helpful in this, and like waiting for you guys
Yeah,
to come.
like, as you-
Kick his ass,
like,
Tan.
Yeah,
just
you-
like urgent, like seeing if there's anything here that can help.
Sure. So you.
I assume that if I look out, I can't see Mason,
No,
right?
absolutely
Like,
not.
yeah,
Oh
I would assume
God.
not.
Yeah. As much as it may look like it, this ship is not stationary in space. So plus the discharge of air as Mason was ejected would have like propelled him out.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Didn't think so. Just wanted to ask.
So yeah, as you're like opening doors, you open one and you find one that's clearly like a locker room. And as you look around, you can see where there are some like some EVH suits that are like in lockers, sort of cylindrical shaped lockers with like sort of viewports in them that I basically like house the suits, so Tan, you're booking it for Crane, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and this is going to be a speed task, and the difficulty is going to be comically low. I'm not sure you need to roll it, but the difficulty on this is going to be 2.
Yeah, I'll just roll that flat, to be honest.
Sounds good. So you just need a 6 or better right now.
First roll of the game.
Do you have any speed edge though?
Yes, but not much. And honestly, I passed anyway. I rolled a 12.
Okay.
So I just start just a little Taeon sprinting guy.
Yeah, so like you see Crane, who's like hurriedly like fast walking, like kind of clutching the bag to his shoulder, kind of glancing around, and he turns and like sees you, moves past you, then clocks you as you like once again as you like are like just running towards him, and at which point he turns and just starts running, but you just are like weaving in between like the like cargo pallets and stuff like that. You were able to kind of stay out of his line of sight long enough that like by the time he starts running, there's no way he's getting away from you. So
there's a lot of people around, so I'm gonna like tackle him to the ground.
Okay.
If I can. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's another roll, I can do that. I'm fine with that. But I'm gonna tackle him to the ground and hold him in place, and just like at the top of my lungs, I want other people to hear this. I want to say, why did you shoot him out the airlock? He didn't have a suit on, and just yell that. Because there's no way there isn't some kind of alarm going on to indicate that the airlock has been like cycled. I just want people to know that he was responsible.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, he just is like basically in full, like you can tell he's not really like he's in just sort of survival panic mode right now, fight or flight. He's just like fighting against you. He's like, get off me, and he's like trying to push you off of him as you both are like struggling on the ground.
Just gonna keep yelling that until someone comes.
Meanwhile, Bina, as you like are running through this maintenance access corridor, you just like not even thinking about it. You just like following it, and then suddenly burst out as you see, you see the back, like the bank of airlocks, and you see kind of the back of Peach, who's like sort of halfway into another room.
Okay. Are there any terminals over here?
There's like the airlock cycle terminals.
Okay. That's not gonna. That wouldn't access any external sensors.
Probably not. No.
Okay. What were we given access to? It's been so long. Like, what have we been allowed? Like, just like you're on thin fucking ice, find this for me, or you're out, or is it like you can use some of our resources? I don't remember. I'm sorry.
A little bit. I think a little bit of. I don't know if it was entirely specified, but I think you do have a little bit of leeway. Like, not any kind of like authority, and you certainly don't have access to classified areas or anything like that, or and you don't have like any kind of clearance levels, if that makes any sense. But you do have like some leeway because you're working directly for the commanding officer. So.
Okay, so as someone who FTL travels a lot, did a lot of space travel, there have to be protocols for like this kind of thing. Like, I bet it has happened on accident, or I guess other times on purpose. Like, what do you like what on this type of a ship? Are there protocols for someone being jettisoned out the airlock?
That's a great question.
There almost certainly are. They are largely maintenance and engineering protocols.
Yes.
Because chances are nobody gets accidentally cycled out an airlock. Chances are you're probably doing a hull walk if you get
Yes.
like you're doing a hull walk is probably so.
Yeah.
These are engineering and like maintenance protocols.
That's what I figured.
So,
basically, what I know what to do right now.
yeah, I mean, like you personally probably couldn't do anything,
Yes.
but like you'd know that you'd need to find a chief engineer or some
That's-
sort
okay.
of
That's-
like ranking engineering officer.
Do we like okay? So since there's a terminal here, can I from here comms the lead engineer
Yeah, absolutely.
like by title? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I see Peach like peeking in the door. Bina just be like she's like 100% protocol right now. Like okay.
We have EV suits if someone can go out there after him. Maybe Taeyeon can get him.
She's like step 1, and she comms the lead engineer. Okay, step 1 is usually this, and we'll see if they have something different. But yes, we're gonna go out there, but they might be able to stop the ship. Just hold on. And yeah, I'm gonna comms the lead engineer.
You get the static crackle, and then it's just like, this is engineering station Alpha. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Bina Oba. I am here as a guest of what the fuck is the guy who the captain's name? I'm so sorry.
Colonel Kazik.
I am here on behalf of Colonel Kazik.
Operating number?
Do I have an operating number?
No.
No time for that. We have an airlock cycle mid FTL, and one of your employees just pushed one of my colleagues out of the airlock, and I would like to implore you to initiate your please help.
I
got shoved out of there. Like, please help. She's just like.
There's a pause, and then you just hear. 1 second. Yeah,
that checks out.
Yeah.
Like we can't do anything while we're in FTL.
I mean, you're not in FTL, but.
Oh, I thought we were. Okay.
No.
We're moving. Either way, it's
definitely,
gonna be
definitely
hard
moving
to,
at sublight, but still, like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bina's freaking out.
Yeah. No telling what might have happened to Mason if he'd been vented out in FTL.
Yeah, I just got really scared.
At this point, Peach is standing over your shoulder, like breathing on you, like listening to the call.
Yeah.
Sorry, someone in chat just said "man overboard." I think that's just what they call it. Man overboard.
So from this, we're cutting back to Taeyeon as you're
Yes.
like struggling with Crane on the deck plates. He kind of like is pushing against you, and finally you hear a bunch of like footsteps on deck plates and you feel hands on you and Crane like just like pulling the two of you like apart, basically. Crane is just like get him off me, get him off, and you're just like pushing away,
swinging my arms, being like, he jettisoned someone out of the airlock.
Yeah, there's just like you can see like one of the regulators in like full like combat gear, like head to toe, basically like kind of pushing you, puts a hand on your chest and just says, "Sir, please calm down," and just like,
are we gonna do anything?
Sir, we need to ascertain the gravity of the situation. He like turns around, you can see that there's like another officer that is currently like has his hands on the shoulder of the chief petty officer, and just like says, "All right," says the two of you, you're coming with us. And they basically just like one of them, the one who has Crane by the shoulders, just like reaches down, grabs his arm, pulls it into like an arm bar basically behind his back, and then just starts like pushing. You kind of see the one who's kind of has a hand on your chest. He says, "Are you gonna come with us?"
Yes, fine.
All right, let's move. And he kind of like looks around at like there's like basically like in a crowd that has like sort of gathered around of like deckhands and like all these who are like, he's just like, disperse, everybody disperse.
While he's trying to get on to disperse, can I like walk ahead as if I'm gonna be following the lead of the other guard and petty officer and see if I can get just at least behind someone, and in that moment to teleport.
Tricky boy.
Yeah. I don't think there's a role that's necessary here, so like I think you just do it. So where are you going?
Yeah. Definitely going right back to the point where, so again, I don't think I definitely went into like the,
As far as you could see where Bina went, is
yeah,
that kind of
as
what
far
you're
as I could
saying?
see,
Yeah.
yeah, as far as I could see where Bina went,
Sure.
and teleported there.
Yeah, you just sort of blink while the guard who had approached you is now like turning to basically one of the MPs that like turns to like try to disperse the crowd and just or at least just checking to see if the others are handling it. Then turns back and just sort of like looks around. You Taeon are meanwhile like already at the entrance and like running. At that point, we're going to cut several decks up. There is a few guards, or not guards, a few engineers are sort of like rushing with like diagnostics in hand. Like literally, they dropped everything that they were doing and are now like running. And as they do, they pass by one Captain Iselik, who sort of just steps aside, watches them pass. Iselik waits for them to be gone, and then begins walking down the corridor. As he proceeds down the corridor, at one point he reaches a security door, pulls out his badge, his access card, swipes it. The red lights above the door flash for a moment, and then click green, and the door slides open. He steps inside what is essentially a small, like, basically a small shuttle bay that is intended for officers' craft. And as he steps in, he turns to the control port for this small shuttle bay, signals the engineer working there, who signals back and begins doing protocols as he walks over towards one of the shuttles. As he does this, he there is a moment as he is setting bags, a bag of that he had been carrying inside one of the shuttles. Mason, on the hull of the ship, you are just sort of holding on, just barely, to a pylon on the outside on the hull of the ship. You can feel as you are there. You can feel the pressure around you, like the air beginning to leave your lungs as your lungs feel like they are on fire at the moment as you are just sort of there hanging on. You can feel the cold of space beginning to crystallize on your exposed skin. What would you like to do?
All right. Well, I'd like to see where I can start moving.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can I get my bearings, perhaps?
Yeah. I'm gonna have you go ahead and make an intellect task.
Okay.
The difficulty of this is going to be 3, but I'm gonna give you an asset for. I'm gonna give you a +1 on the roll for basically your knowledge of regulator vessels.
Oh, perfect. All right. How about perception? Can I add that too, as well?
Yes, absolutely.
And let's see. Nope, that's not a word. No, investigation's not going to work. How about identify? It's a bit obscure. Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I wrote down navigation, but I think that's specific to ships systems. So I think I'm just down to a 2 or a 2.
I believe so. Yeah.
All right, I'll roll from there.
You just need a 6 or better then.
Oh no, I rolled a 5.
Okay. So you don't see, looking around, you don't see anywhere, like none of this looks. Wait, you said you rolled a 5. Did you add that +1?
I didn't. Sorry.
Okay.
So
six exactly. Okay.
Jeez.
So, you you look around, and you're not entirely sure exactly where you are, but you can detect even from here, as you kind of like turn, you can see what looks like a medium-sized bay door a little further up the hull open.
I'll make for that, and if it helps, I'll activate my ring for flying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll help a little bit. Maybe I'll activate that, and I'll start to like push myself forward.
Yeah.
Towards that.
Yeah, activating that gives you a little bit more control. It keeps you from, at the very least, it keeps you from drifting away from the ship as it moves. So as you, making it easier for you to sort of like not just pull yourself along the hull, but you can actually like leverage yourself to like fling yourself across the hull a little bit without worrying about going off into space. However, I am still going to make you make a roll. That roll is going to be. I think this is going to be a might roll, and the difficulty of it is going to be 5. However, you do have an asset from your artifact.
Okay. Cool. Well,
so it's down to 4 right now.
That's good, because I don't really have much to add to might. This is not a mighty character, physically.
Right.
So I'm gonna roll. So 12 or better.
Yeah. Do you have anything that can help you out here?
Well, I don't know. I'll name off a couple of skills that I think that could help. Maybe as this assessing danger, maybe I can like kind of figure out where the least.
That's fair. Yeah, you know what?
That
makes sense. There's lots of like little exhaust ports and things like that while not strictly hazardous to you, could very easily send you pushing off the hull of the ship into space. Especially
if it goes off at the wrong moment.
Yeah.
And I don't think running or jumping apply here, because I'm not standing. I'm kind of like prone. I'm like crawling, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You're pulling yourself basically. You're kind of like flinging yourself across the hull of this ship. So you're down.
I knew I should have taken flung as a skill.
So you're down to a 3 right now. Difficulty 3.
Yes. Yes. So 9.
9 or better now.
9 or better. A 6. But you know what? I don't want to. I'm going to use I only have 1 XP, but I'm going to use it.
Okay. All right.
We're an 11.
Okay. So yeah, you kind of reach a point as you are like flinging yourself across the hull of the ship. You grab onto sort of an exposed strut as you come closer and closer to the opening that you saw, and as you grab onto it, you use it and just at the last second pull back as one of the hull exhausts just sort of jettisons out into space just in front of you, and you are able to sort of wait it out, pull yourself forward, and grab onto the edge of the opening. As you do, you kind of begin pulling yourself in to what appears to be a small shuttle bay, one that you actually recognize as probably one of the officers, one of the shuttle bays that contains one of the officers' private shuttles, things like that. And as you pull yourself in, you can see that the engineer at the console in sort of the overlook is busy working on something and isn't paying attention to you specifically. But moreover, as you kind of glance over, you see the unmistakable form of Iselik, who is in the process of loading up the shuttle. As you pull yourself in to the shuttle bay, you feel the artificial gravity of the ship sort of grab you and orient you to the ground. You are now, and you also once again feel the relief of artificial atmosphere around you once again. Yeah.
Mason's gonna just do that, but as soon as he does that, he's gonna try to look casual.
Yeah, you sort of take a deep breath in, and as you do, like Istelik whirls around and sees you standing there, and he just goes. You can see that he takes a visible step back, and as you see that reaction in him, you actually catch sight of yourself in like a reflection on the paneling, and you can understand his reaction as your skin seems to have taken on sort of a crystalline sort of exterior to seemingly in reaction to the vacuum. It is unmistakably you, but very like almost looking like some sort of ghost of a like some sort of space traveler who had been left behind to the vacuum of space. You can see your appearance sort of gradually sort of shifting and orienting itself back to the environment that you're in. As you turn back to him, he's sort of like up against the shuttle, sort of hand on his firearm but hasn't drawn it. He looks and goes, Frey, where the hell did you come from? Says, were you just... He kind of looks past you at out the doors.
Quick above game.
Mm-hmm.
Mason doesn't know.
Unless you had comm signal in space, but no, so you can't get sound anyways.
I mean,
yeah.
You wouldn't have that. That said, I think Ada probably would have sent that info to everybody. So,
but would you have seen it?
Would you have seen it? Yeah. Would you have seen it while you were out there? Is the question.
But would you have gotten it like the second you got back, like when your comms?
I think the question is the
I wouldn't have seen it during that whole.
No. Could he have heard because the Taeon did say Azelik is the traitor into the comms?
Yeah, Mason probably would not have heard that.
Okay, that was okay. So then you don't know probably.
Yeah, probably not. No, probably
I didn't think so. I was just making sure.
I was gonna say unless there was like some, if you had like an earpiece, maybe you would have heard it vaguely enough to make out. But no, I don't think so.
Yeah, and I haven't checked. Mason doesn't check his messages, so Mason just kind of like pulls out like a cigarette and lights it, and like pulls out his flask. It's a little chilly out there.
He like looks at you and just says, "You were... How the hell did you do that?"
Hope, trust me, was not what I intended on doing today, was getting shot out into space. It felt interesting, terrible. How did I survive? That's a very long story. You look like you've seen a ghost. Are you all right?
He he just sort of stares at you for a moment and then just says, kind of like looks over his shoulder at the engineer who is currently working docking protocols, who seems to just sort of be like, he's like looking, but you can't really make out much expression on his face. And he looks at you and he says, "Okay." He nods, and you can see as he just like then actually does pull his firearm and points it at you. He says, "Get in the shuttle."
In the shuttle?
Get in the shuttle.
Do you love smoking? I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. And Mason just kind of puts it out on his hand and just kind of tosses it and like, all right, easy there.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Says, "Put your damn hands down." And he says, "Get in." And he kind of steps out of the way as he like points you toward the to the loading ramp.
Very good, very good.
He makes sure to stay like well away from you and sort of circling you as you like move in towards the shuttle.
Okay, Is there like it's how, oh, is it like, I'm sorry, I'm imagining like a small 2-person vessel. How big is this?
Pretty much. Like, that's pretty much what you're looking at. So what you're looking at is basically something like similar in size to the shuttle that that you've ridden that Scrapyard has. So it's like, it's basically, it's what it is it's sort of like a troop carrying transport, like a dropship basically, but like retrofitted for like with instead of troop seating, it's been retrofitted with like sort of almost like a miniature lounge inside or I guess not as comfortable as a lounge, but just sort of a seating area, and then the cockpit up at the front.
Mason's just going in and is like, taking me out to dinner or what?
He ignores you and just sort of signals the engineer, and then steps into the shuttle. And as he steps, still trained with the weapon trained on you, he hits the button as like the ramp like closes behind him, and he said, "Sit down.
There's
Strap yourself
right.
in." He basically pushes you basically towards the cockpit and like directs you into the co-pilot seat.
Okay.
Yeah, and he seats himself in the pilot seat, still with the weapon trained on you, and starts running, like starts activating the shuttle. He says, "This isn't how I wanted to do it, but it'll have to work." We will cut back to the others, Bina and Peach, as you hear footsteps behind you, as Taeyeon rushes in behind.
So where is he? Have we got eyes on him yet, or anything like that?
Bina's trying to get in contact with someone who can do a like hull scan.
You're basically being
anyone who will listen to her, which is she's kind of manic right now, so her chances might not be good.
So,
but that's what you walk up to.
Basically, in the amount of time that has passed, what has happened is you've basically just sort of been shuffled around every time somebody is asking for your operating number, and you're just like, I don't have one, help, right? It's just, you're just like, oh, hold please, and basically get shuffled around to the next person, and this has basically been going on for like 5 minutes at this point.
Oh my god, after like minute 2, Bina would have been like looking for the spacewalk suits. Like
Peach would have pointed.
Yeah, would have like, yeah, you pointed them out already. And it would be you then you at that point you walk up to Bina grumbling about semantics and codes and trying to put herself into a suit.
So I'm guessing we don't have eyes on him?
No.
Peach is gonna start trying to call Mason like fruitlessly like.
I was gonna ask, like, do we have because I don't know because Pete said that they Olivia said that they sent me their coordinates. Was it like do we have a thing where we can like drop a pin in a map? Is that a thing we have on our comms, or is it like we just like, hey, we're in this part? I don't know.
It probably wouldn't be super accurate, but you can do that. Okay. You get a ballpark location, yeah.
Okay. While Peach is trying to call Mason, I'd be trying to like just send a message, because the chances are, at least as far as I'm aware, he's in space and you can't really hear or really talk much in space. He's gonna be sending a message through a little like comms to see if he can it just says drop a pin is all I really say.
Okay. So 1 second. Give me 1 sec while I fix this real quick. I'm fixing your captions.
Parents be like, if I can get him to, I don't know how easy it's gonna be for him to talk or really hear anything out there, but if you can drop a pin, I can use that and hopefully jump towards him. Don't know how accurate these things are, but at least get us close enough.
Sure. You have a sort of a ballpark. The thing that you see is the fact that it's unclear whether it's the fact that the computer is assuming, based on the fact that you're in space in a ship, that he is on board the ship, or if that's just if that's like just where the computer has put him, but like, or if he's sort of there outside of the ship and the computer has just decided, oh no, he's here. You don't know exactly, but like it does look like from the ping that you got, Mason's location is on the ship a few decks up, and like a little further kind of towards the rear of the ship, but yeah.
Bina's trying to do a spacewalk right now. Like she wants to get on the hull of the ship if I can get mag boots.
Bina, it says Mason's on the ship, or at least moving along the ship.
That's what I'm hoping, because he's good at surprising us. So I'm just hoping he's holding on. I just want to try to follow to go for a little.
I think it'd probably be best if I do that. In this case, like if I do get distance off, I can actually just come back again fairly easily.
Is my call going through at all? Is Mason?
Nope,
is
doesn't seem to be going
anything
through.
connecting? Okay.
Bina just looks as you're like talking, and she's like, I think she's like talking with you over, and you say that, and she just like teleports 3 inches to the left.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, we could both do it. I know.
I mean, I think it'd be better if just one of
What
us
deck
does
did
it,
you
so
say?
then
Can we go? Peaches,
just a
what
couple of
deck?
decks. How many decks above?
It's again ballpark, but like
Ballpark, yeah.
more or less somewhere between like 6 decks up and like 12 decks up. So like it's giving you sort of like a very rough estimate. But yeah.
No, I'm still going out. You, if you want to teleport on the inside, that's cool. Bina's gonna firebug across the outside of the ship and try to look for him. That's what she'd be doing right now.
Okay then. Well, I'm gonna.
If you want to try inside stuff, yeah, Bina wants to jump outside.
Okay,
Peaches,
be safe.
Someone between 6 to 12 decks up. These computer things, these location pings aren't exactly accurate. Not really made for precise locating.
Well, no
so
time to
between 6
waste.
to 12. Yes. Do you want me to teleport you, or do you want to go on foot? I can just teleport us around.
Teleport 6 decks up, and then I'll run up on foot so I can.
Okay. And I'm gonna tap Peach, and we're both gonna teleport 6 decks up.
Okay. Bina, as you're like just getting yourself into the EVH suit, you hear footsteps outside by the airlock, and as you turn, you see basically like a full engineering crew, like 6 people that have just like stepped in and are like, one of them reaches up and like with like a specialized tool deactivates the like emergency alarm that was going off on this whole time on the airlock. And you see that they basically like go out and they start running the procedures to like close the outer airlock basically so they can repressurize it. And one of them turns and looks at you and just says, "Hi, I wasn't."
Hi, my friend is out there. This is gonna be really weird. I'm sorry. And I'm gonna living light into the airlock. I can see, right? There's like a window.
Yeah.
And as it's like closing, she's just gonna crawl
like,
out.
As you're doing this,
the
he's like in the middle of saying, "I wasn't made aware of any. There were no scheduled." And then you're just gone. You're just this streak of light that just past him and like follows it, and you like rematerialize in the airlock. And he like looks at you.
Her mouth, sorry. She's gonna go.
Yeah, just kind of like pushing off and like sort of floating out the airlock, and then you just back. Yeah, like we're gonna
basically she's gonna use like if it's got this suits come with like mag boots and like hollow walk stuff. I'm sure. Yeah, so she's gonna use a combination of that and like living light to kind of just like leapfrog along in the trajectory of like where from this location where someone would go, like
sure
something that someone could get caught on in the direction that she saw Tam point to. That's kind of her plan.
Good.
That's what I'm doing.
We'll come back to that.
Yes.
So Taeyeon and Peach, you just sort of you like appear very suddenly in the middle of the officers' mess, as like several. It's not super populated, but you can see that there are a few officers in here right now who look up at you and sort of look around at each other. And one of them stands up and she walks over to you. An Anzalonian woman sort of walks over and says, "Didn't see you come in. Can I help you?"
Have you seen a man that looks disrupted from, being have you seen a detective? And I'm gonna give the description of Mason.
Yeah. She's like, "No, I haven't seen. Are you supposed to be here? This is the officer's mess."
We're internal investigations, and I'm just gonna like the little like pass that we got given previously has no credentials, nothing important. I just flash it towards them and I walk and just hurry up.
Yeah. You don't have the authority to know that. And I'm gonna keep going with
yeah.
Taeyeon.
She like looks around and then like as the two of you have already left, she like looks back at the officers that she had been sitting with who are looking at her, shrug, and she goes, wait, and then just like turns and starts like following you, basically like running behind you down the corridor. She's like, I'm sorry, I wasn't made aware. Like she's running with you and now like talking. She's like, I wasn't made aware of any kind of investigation taking place. Is there? Maybe I can help you find what you're looking for. What's happening?
I'm probably gonna be. I'm running beside her, and then I kind of like think of, where's Iselic?
She frowns. Captain, let's see. She like looks down at her terminal and like basically checking time. She says, I don't know. Right about now, he'd probably be in his office filing paperwork, just about to clock off for the shift.
He is the person we're investigating. There's a chance that he is in connections with. I'm just gonna spout everything.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
We are internal investigation, and this is what we discovered. We're looking for Iselic and one of our colleagues, Mason. Because at this point, we kind of teleported in the middle of everything. Like, there's nothing to hide right now.
Okay, sure. I'm gonna have you make a. There's gonna be basically like a persuasion check because you're throwing a lot of information at this person that you teleported in front of.
Can I assist?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Can I
You have
like
encouragement.
I don't know if I don't think I have that anymore because you haven't.
You're trashing your tier 1 abilities. The poor little I've treasure encouragement.
Bina's encouraging enough.
Yeah. So, go ahead and this is gonna be an intellect task, the difficulty of which is going to be 5.
Yeah, that's fair. I have no skills that can lower that, so I'm going to use levels of effort. Let's see if I remember how this thing works. 5. It's just the first spend is 3, Ryan, and everything after that is 2.
Yes.
If Peach is jumping in and like helping Taeyeon kind of explain, like kind of like helping him like explain this whole situation to her, can that give him an asset?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 4.
Yep.
I'll spend 2 levels of effort.
Okay.
So yeah, I rolled that. So difficult 2. I've spent a lot of my insight already. You teleporting around. Okay. 7.
Okay.
So just make it.
So yeah. So she's listening to you as you're talking, and she like, to her credit, she does not appear to like. She does not. If she is shocked by anything that you have said, she does not reveal it on her face. She's just kind of taking it all in stride as you're running down the corridor, and she's just sort of nodding and says, "Okay, well, if Iselic is keeping to a regular schedule, he has no reason to suspect that you're investigating him. Is that correct?"
As far as I'm aware, no. He thinks that we still have followed his false leads on this investigation, but...
Okay, then if all things have borne out, he should be just about to leave his office right now. I can get a security team together and head up there right now.
That'd be perfect, thank you. What's your name? I'll put in a good word for you.
Yeah, she just says, Major Eleni.
Major Eleni, thank you.
She just like immediately breaks pace with you and just turns back and goes back the way you came. And yeah, as you like, yeah, you continue running down the corridor, sort of searching around. Back to Mason, as you are there, you see the chime. You hear the chime as like the call from Peach comes in, and Iselic looks and says, "Turn that off."
Are you worried that they may have broken the case? I turn it off, but hopefully, if there's a way of making some way of pinging myself, I will do it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna make this a speed task. The difficulty of which on this it's gonna be kind of high, but the difficulty on the speed task is gonna be 6.
Okay. Right on. That is high. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So what do you got?
This is for pinging. This is interesting. Speed.
So essentially, what I understand that you were trying to do. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can understand what you're trying to do. You're trying to like turn it off, right? But like,
right.
Are you trying to like make it? Are you trying to actually activate it, or what are you trying to do?
So I'll silence it, but I'm actually just trying to make it so they can follow me.
Oh,
He's trying to give us his location.
That's passive. That happens anyway. Like
right.
they can sort of ping that. So that is already happening. So what are you trying to do here?
Mm,
Can you like let us know somehow that like you got the call, like because by responding to it, we'd know that you're like not floating out in space.
Thumbs up, react to the message.
Or
Like-
you could like answer the call in and hang up.
yes, that's exactly what I was thinking about
Or
doing
leave
earlier.
the call
I
open
think,
so we can hear what's going on.
I think I was going to like do a weird thing like answer and then hang up, which Mason wouldn't do. Maybe that's weird and obscure, but that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Then this is yeah. I still think it's gonna be the same difficulty because you're basically trying to do something under his very watchful eye. You're trying to do
Exactly.
something that is very much the opposite of what he specifically instructed you to do just now. So yeah. So this is still a difficulty 6 speed task. So, got anything you can do here?
I'm gonna spend some speed. I'll spend a couple levels of. Let's see, what is it? Effort. Yes, that's what we call it. I'll
How do we play this game? What game are we playing?
I'll
Cypher,
spend
I
three.
barely know her.
I'll
That is
spend
very
3
true
levels. Spend 3 levels of effort.
Okay, sounds good. Bringing it down to a 3, difficulty 3.
Yes.
So it's 9
correct.
or better right now. Do you have anything else that might?
Do you have speed edge, don't you? Or am I making that up?
I have dexterity, but that's for a dexterity power
Right.
power shift. I think that's for.
That's for defense, right?
I think it's for defense rolls. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Defense rolls and initiative
It is-
tasks, I believe.
And for initiative tasks.
Movement, acrobatics, initiative, speed,
Initiatives.
defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have any speed edge? Why did I think you have speed edge?
Oh,
You sure you're just
I
fast?
I do. Sorry, I do have speed edge.
Oh,
That's what these. That's
I
what
mean,
these
that'll
weird
just-
marks
that'll
are.
just eat the cost, but like.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
So actually, in that case, I'll do one more level of effort.
Okay.
So since it's not costing as much.
Sure. What I was gonna say is, if Drac, you said what was the what does the power shift do again?
Movement, acrobatics, initiative, and speed defense.
I could see it. I could see that, especially in this particular case. Like you're trying to like, yeah, I could see your power shift coming in here. So like, if you're spending that we were down to a 3, spending that additional effort down to a 2. Don't you have a 2 power shift?
So yeah, it's 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to roll anyway?
Fast.
Yes, I'll roll anyway.
Okay.
Fast, Mason.
Oh my gosh, I rolled a 2.
Okay. Well,
not
at
a
least it's
1.
not a 1. So there's that.
I know, but it's so close. It's trying to tell me something.
Yeah. So you very quickly you just sort of you get in there, you like you answer and hang up basically immediately. And then sort of like click the terminal off. And like just basically in that split second as he looked forward to sort of see as he grabbed the controls, still with his sidearm trained on you, grabbed the controls as he like looked away from you, looked forward just to sort of check, and then looked back. In that split second, you were able to like answer and hang up.
Mason just like
Yeah.
and just like stretches a little bit.
Yeah. So in that moment, as you finish this, he grabs the controls and says, "We're going for a little ride." And he the shuttle lifts off, and as he gooses the controls, the shuttle shoots out of the shuttle bay.
How close did I make it to the shuttle bay?
So yeah, Bina on the outside, you are sort of looking around, trying to see if there's anywhere that like any sign of Mason, any sign of anywhere he might have gone. And as you're doing this, you watch a small craft just sort of take off and exit the.
Did it come from relatively the area that the pinging was coming from on the like on the where Mason was? Like, is it within the?
It's hard to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I see him? Like
I'll
on the.
I'll give you this. I don't know that there's any way that you could know that Mason is on that shuttle.
How far am I from that area?
From where the shuttle left?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe about. I'd say probably somewhere in the vicinity of about 500 feet. Like.
Okay. Double check. I remember how this works.
Is that too far to sense his emotions?
Yes.
I figured.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, so
I am going to come back to you.
Yeah.
Let's see, Taeyeon and Peach, as you are like rushing through the corridors, how are you searching? How are you searching for Mason? What are you doing?
I'm probably like, because I'm probably starting to run out of juice when it comes to like full on teleportation. I'm like Misty, not Misty Step. That's fucking D&D.
Far step. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, about just like checking in hallways and doors if I don't see anything, or if I'll be keeping an eye on the ping, because just so I could be like, where am I in relation to that?
Is the office that we were told Selleck would be in, does that seem to be like in a similar area to the location that we were given?
I mean, it's relatively close to where your like, it is within the like deck range that you were. Yeah, it is within that for sure.
Then I think Peach would head there specifically to try to go there before the security team got there. Check it out.
As you're like basically running through searching, you realize.
And also, I'm reaching into the minds of everyone I run into, trying to see if any of them know anything, if they've seen Mason, if they're like, what the hell's going on, like to get any kind of idea.
As you're like sort of searching, you start to realize that searching this way without an exact location, like it is only 6 decks, but that's a lot of space. That is a lot of.
That's what I'm beginning to realize.
You're like, so you make your way sort of towards like Iselik's office, as you kind of find your path is sort of taking you in that direction anyway. You arrive at Iselik's office. Taeyeon, as you're like checking the ping, you see the dot that is Mason detach from the ship and then just sort of begin moving away from the ship.
He immediately tells Peach, Mason's moving away from the ship at pretty fast speed. I don't think this is just him.
They got on some kind of pod.
It has to be. Where are the pods?
I bet Selleck is with him.
Just as you say that, you're drawing up level to the office, where you do see the major and the like a small security detachment, three security officers, making their way towards you from kind of the opposite direction. She sees you and just sort of signals.
Good timing.
Says, Did you check inside?
Just got here.
All right. She nods to the security team, who like basically like go to either side of the doorway, and she like basically she hits the door chime and waits, and then she hits it again and waits, and then just looks to the security chief and says, "Get us inside, sir." And he like immediately just like reaches for his security access pass and just and you see the door unlocks. The door opens and revealing an entirely empty office.
I have reason to believe that they just escaped or about to escape through the pods. How exactly can we get there the fastest?
She kind of frowns for a moment, thinks, and says, "No, wouldn't have been pods. The officers have their own shuttles. 1 second." She reaches to her basically like a comm badge essentially, and just like says, "This is Major Eleni to Officers Hangar Zeta." And go ahead, Major. I'm making sure, trying to check. Has there been any shuttle departures recently within the last few minutes? There's a pause, and then just, yes, Major. There's one Captain Iselik just and an unknown human male just took off in the officer's shuttle. Is everything all right? And she frowns and says, "Thank you," and cuts communication.
Peach kind of quietly like to Taeyon, just says, Mason should be able to overpower him. Maybe he wants to see where he's trying to take him.
Maybe, but we haven't got any communication back from Mason. I don't think it'd be safe to just let him go.
Oh no, we need to follow.
Yeah. Let me just let Bina know. And I'm just gonna quickly go into comms and just say, Selec escaped on a shuttle. They said it with an unidentified human man. I'm pretty sure that's our Mason. Have you seen anything leaving?
I don't know what our range is, but I think
Right.
Bina probably tried to teleport to the side outside of that ship. So I don't know if Bina heard that.
Okay.
I'm asking Lucas if that's.
Okay, here's my question.
Yeah.
I still don't buy that there is a reasonable way that you would have made that assumption, that leap of.
No, I don't think she knew it was him. That's what I was trying to figure out while everyone was talking, and that was whatever. I don't think she knows, but I think she thinks she would probably be able to get back. She would take a peek and then try to get back. But if you want to say that it was too far, if it was over, because I think her limit on this is like 600 feet. So if you want to say that it was over 600 feet away and she wouldn't have made it, that's fine too.
Yeah, I don't know. See, so here's my thought, right? Without, like, I hear what you're saying and your reasoning for, but I also think that in that moment, just like, I don't know that that's what the split second like decision that you needed to make it would have taken. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that would have been a moment of like uncertainty, like, because Mason could, as far as you know, Mason could be anywhere along the outside or inside of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So in a moment of hesitation, even if the ultimate decision was jump to the shuttle and check,
It's gone.
I think so. Yeah.
Cool.
That's my thought. So sorry. The last thing that just happened was Mason or not Mason, Taeyon and Peach. What were you?
They're just letting Bina know that
Okay.
they
Yeah.
left.
I would say I'd text it, and like there's probably like some kind of speech to text as well. So I would want it in every form, just in case like for some reason they can't hear right now. They can at the very least read.
So then instead, I saw it just came from a shuttle bay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna living light to that
Sure.
bay.
Yeah. Easily. Yeah. You just appear in the shuttle bay. There is an engineer who is basically now like leaning back in the seat inside the booth, basically, who is looking down at something, who kind of glances up and looks again at you again and kind of.
Hi. That ship. Do you have any way to track it?
He leans forward and you just hear like a crackling of an intercom. It was like, come again?
That ship. Do you have any way to track it?
Maybe. Who?
I like maybe. That's not a no. Can you start doing that?
Sorry, this is awkward, but I don't know if you're authorized to make that demand.
That's fair. I'm Bina Oba. Nice to meet you. Can you call the captain of the ship? He'll tell you to do the same thing. Thank you.
Okay. 1 second.
Hi, Captain. There's a tiny weirdo sitting in my office right now.
Yeah, you see as he like turns to like another like console nearby, and you can see like he's speaking to somebody, but you like can't hear him. But meantime,
I want to just turn to the Major and say, Major, we're going to need a ship to pursue this case.
We have our ship, don't we, here?
yeah, you do. Yeah, Awakener is on.
Oh, we do. I didn't know we had it with us. I thought that
Awakener's
okay,
here.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's on board.
then never mind. I don't see that.
Okay. Mason, as you see the Harrier disappearing behind you, you kind of watch it kind of go out past the view screen, and Iselik, sort of still with the weapon trained on you, just says, "Why the hell did you come back, Frey?"
I said, it's really cold out there in space. I didn't want to stay out there that long.
Not. Why'd you come back out here? You put me in a difficult position. You know that?
I put you in a difficult position, huh? I was in a difficult position almost 8 years ago, give or take.
And kind of leans back, looks at you, and just nods, says, yeah, I know. At this point, he does holster his sidearm and just puts both hands on the controls. And he, you can see as he starts like kind of inputting coordinates on the in the shuttle's navigation system. Says, I'm taking you to see Alzirus.
Oh.
Says,
Yeah, why? I mean, granted, I've wanted to meet Alzirus. I want to punch them in the face, but I'm not sure why you want to take me there. And how am I putting you in a difficult position? Am I trying to not help you?
You're right. Sorry. Habits. Since you're a dead man, let's drop all the lies. And I think that's where we're gonna take our break.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Right before the villain monologue. Ooh.
See you in a month.
And yeah, we'll see you next year,
Fuck
buddy.
you.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. Everybody, stretch, move around, do what you got to do. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Okay. Did all of the captions break while we were away?
Mine are the only ones still
no.
going.
Break
no,
away.
There we go.
Broken.
Okay,
Oh
we're
no!
good.
Ha!
We're
There
good.
it is.
We're good. Okay. It was just only showing me like a couple of them. We are good. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We know exactly what we're doing. Right. So, when we left off, Mason had been abducted by his former CO, now very clearly the link between the Regulators and the Alzirus crime syndicate. So, where we left off, Iselik had just said to Mason, since you're seeing as how you're a dead man, let's stop with all the lies. And as he finishes punching in coordinates, you see as he reaches over and activates the shuttle's FTL, and you jump. He leans back in his seat. Actually, he leans back in his seat as FTL sort of drive revs up and then just into the distance. At which point we will briefly cut back to the shuttle bay as Bina is there, just sort of waiting on this disgruntled engineer. As you're looking around, Bina, you can see you clock the entrance to basically the control deck of the shuttle. So you can see how to get to the guy, who appears to sort of still be you can tell that he has now stopped talking to whoever he had been communicating with, and he is now very focused on something in front of him.
Can I get behind? I want to get behind. I want to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I
just want to get behind myself. I want to make sure he's doing what I told him to. Because we are on a time crunch here. That guy's getting away.
you get right behind him, and he kind of looks. He kind of glances up. You can see as he looks over and doesn't see you, and then.
And she's right next to him, peering over his shoulder.
Oh.
Hi. Sorry. I'm sorry. Are you doing it? I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah. I just spoke with the colonel's aide. 1 second. Okay. It looks like I'm just pulling up flight paths. You can see as he's hesitating, and you're actually seeing what he's looking at, which is you can see the shuttle's flight path and then no data. There's no data. It just stops. And he kind of looks at it and says, I don't know what happened, but... And then you see another like, more data, like, pop up suddenly, and you see that, like, the ship's external sensors have detected an FTL jump. And he like looks at it, and the two of you see it at the same time. And he kind of like looks at you and says, "Well, it looks like the captain's shuttle jumped."
Can you give me a heading?
No. And he kind of points to where you can see the like data, the like flight path data cut off. He says, "Right here." He turned off the shuttle's transponder. All data relating to coordinates and flight paths just stopped transmitting.
She's gonna kind of like reach over him and see if I can pull up like a map of this like sector of space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The direction they were heading initially, what's that way but further?
So the thing about space is that you could point in a direction and there's a lot of stuff over there. And even if you're pointing in a direction, if you're even just like a micron off, right? Taken extrapolated out to like light years away, that could be the difference of like light years. So the answer,
I would does it change territory anywhere? Is there anything?
Not really.
Is it just space? It's just space.
It's kind of just space.
Okay.
I can tell you that the heading that they were on was facing coreward, but like otherwise that's not super helpful because
he could have turned and jumped when he turned off the transponder. So
the thing about space is there's a lot of it.
There's a lot of it, and okay, well.
Yeah. He's looking and says, okay. He says,
is there anything else you can do from here?
I don't know. I'll look. He says, I'm not totally sure what's going on, but I think, he says, I mean, I got the colonel's okay to track the captain, so maybe he might have turned off the transponder, but there's a possibility that if he's going past any of our sensor communication relays, they'll ping, but they won't. Yes. But he says that's automatic. That just happens. But
can we collect that? Is that something we can keep an eye out for, or do we have to go digging?
The data gets transmitted and flushed at the end of each cycle, but that's by the time we get that, he could be anywhere. But
there's no way to do it live.
We could try pinging individual sensors and seeing what we get, but there's a lot of them out there. It could take forever, but I mean, it's the only thing I can think of right now.
Where is Ada Sprix right now?
On Awakener. Here on the ship.
Yeah. She's here. One second. I would like to comms Ada, give them the situation, and ask if that's something that they could help with.
Yeah. You hear Ada's voice on the other end. You can hear their like kind of like it's sort of like vague muttering.
Just thinking out loud.
Yeah. No. He's onto something. I think that's possible. I'm gonna see if I can write an algorithm to maybe narrow it down a little bit. I don't know. It might take me a while, but
anything at this point.
Yeah, if I can get us even just a narrowed range, maybe. I'll hold that thought. I'll get back to you.
Sounds good. Okay. And then she's gonna keep looking because this is all computer stuff. And Bina's like, that sure is where you click on stuff. Like she's like kind of just like willing this guy to have another idea.
Yeah, you can see as he's like right now what he's doing is he's like compiling like the list of like sensor data, and he's just like bringing this up.
Prepping for eventually.
In the meantime, Tan and Peach, I'm assuming that you would have been actually at this point. Major Eleni has had the security team sort of like storm in and basically is now in the process of like securing the captain's office and is like combing data and stuff like that on his terminals.
Okay, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to like go through all of his shit.
Yeah. Major
We need proof of this.
Yeah. Major Eleni just like you can hear like the chirp on her combat. She says, "Go ahead." And she says, "Major, that ship that you wanted me to track jumped not too long ago. I'm here with
Bina Oba.
Bina Oba, trying to
of course,
determine the location. Major, if I may, what's going on? None of your concern right now. Just get that data analyzed. Do what you can." She clicks off and looks at the two of you and says, "Looks like the captain is running."
That doesn't surprise me. Okay, I want to tell the higher ups, just keep them updated. And I want to, that data packet that Ada sent us, I want to send that to, God, I forgot his name. The person who caught us but gave us like 24 hours.
Yeah, no.
We keep forgetting his name.
Colonel Kazik.
Colonel
Kazik. He is a Skoru, and the commanding.
He was
officer,
reluctantly agreed.
And the commanding officer of actually not this vessel, but of the vessels in the sector, the regulator patrols in the sector.
So I'll just send like a very brief we have reason to believe that God, I remember one name and immediately forget over.
Aselic.
We have reason to believe that Aselic is a traitor. Here's a data packet that Ada combed and found.
Tell him we're searching the office now for more information.
We're searching his office now for more information, but it seems like he jumped potentially with Mason.
Understood. I'll have a security analyst down to his office shortly.
Thank you.
He says, I'll be honest. Didn't expect you were gonna find much.
We're persistent.
He doesn't say another word. You just hear the communication click out. The major has her eyebrows like raised way up. She says, "High praise coming from the colonel."
It sounds
I know
like it, but if that's high praise,
it never does.
Okay, well, I'll take it. Have you found anything?
Not yet, but that security analyst that he's sending down will help us a lot. We'll turn his systems inside out.
I want to quickly, more of a text and anything, just be quickly text as well, say, Major Eleni has been a big help, just putting in a good word.
I'm gonna turn back to the major and say, did you know Captain Aselic well?
Worked with him for a while, yeah. Nothing, I don't know. We came up together in the academy, but otherwise I didn't have much contact with him until I came. I'm actually here with the colonel's party. I don't serve on this ship.
Okay. Do you know any of his friends, his closest allies on the ship? You know, anyone he's been hanging out with a lot? Girlfriend, boyfriend, person he's been seeing? Anything?
Not as such, but any one of our security experts will probably be accessing that information. Not sure what kind of clearance the colonel has deemed fit for you, but I'll see what I can do in terms of getting any of that information to you.
Okay. I was just thinking he probably hid some more sensitive information somewhere that is not the most obvious place.
Well, could always try his quarters. She kind of glances around to the security chief, and then kind of looks at you and says, "We're gonna be pretty tied up here for a while. Might take us a bit. Might take us a bit to send a security team to his quarters."
Why don't I go get a head start there? I mean, I've been told I'm great at searching rooms.
She She smiles, nods, says, "I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that," and turns back around to the rest of the room and like, just turns back to the rest of the room and just like starts overseeing once again the security team, just turning the whole place upside down. So with that we'll cut back to Mason. Friends for Roll Dice, thank you so much for the raid. Hello everybody.
Friends.
So, Mason, as the shuttle jumps into FTL, your former commanding officer, Captain Iselik, like leans back away from the controls and looks at you, and then actually fully turns the pilot's seat to face you, and he says, "So, like I said, the lying habit. I'm not taking you to Alzirus. If I took you to Alzirus, we'd both be dead."
Yeah, we wouldn't want that, I guess.
There's only one way out of this for me. And unfortunately, and it doesn't mean much, but please, I hope you believe me when I say that I truly regret that one way is with your corpse.
Oh, yeah. I've died and come back quite a few times, friend.
Well, for your sake, I hope that's true.
What about you? Gonna go down with the ship? Honor and all that, stripes, stars, the whole thing. You know, folks are gonna know what you did.
Yeah, they will. I'll just have to hope that you being out of the way and all the work that I've done for the syndicate does something for me. He shakes his head. He says, "God damn it. I got you out, Frey. Back then, they wanted you dead. You were sniffing around too close. I know you can't appreciate what I did, but I did what I did. I got you kicked out because the other option was you at the bottom of a ditch. And I didn't want that."
Yeah, man, it's all sweet and everything, but I was trying to help us all.
Oh yeah. Honor and duty and the settlement of the border worlds, is that it? Shit. Come on, Frey. You're too smart to believe that bullshit.
Yeah. You're right. It's not about that anymore. It's gotten a lot more personal.
It's not even that. It goes way beyond us. Why do you think the border worlds haven't been settled? Why do you think the syndicates still are still out here when the regulators have all this? We could be making a real difference out here. You know that, right? All the resources at the hands of the regulators, you really think that the syndicates just happened to keep escaping from us this whole time? If the syndicates didn't exist, we wouldn't have a job. We wouldn't have a purpose.
Well, then what's the point of this purpose, then?
Frey, I learned a while back, before I got you kicked out, I learned some hard truths about the way the universe works. I was the true believer, believed in the cause, believed in settling the border worlds, making sure that they were out from under the thumb of the crime syndicates. I believed in all of that, and I believed in our mission. And then I learned that really wasn't our mission at all. It's just a line the brass were feeding us all. The brass don't want the syndicates gone any more than the syndicates do. That was the day I learned nobody's out here trying to make a difference for anybody else. Most you can do is look out for yourself. So, I did what I could do. I looked after myself. And the Alzira Syndicate was offering... Well, they were offering quite a bit. I got people to take care of, my folks back home. You think I can take care of 2 elderly Keldro on a measly officer's salary? Please. You've been to Krenai. You're from Krenai. You think it's any better towards the core? It's just a practical decision. You came along, I saw it in your face. You knew something wasn't right, but you still believed. You still believed in the cause. I couldn't break you of that, but I didn't have it in me to break you of that. I knew you'd never follow me anyway. So I did the next best thing. Got you sent home. Got you the hell out of here. There was a death mark on your head, Frey, and I was supposed to carry it out. I don't expect a thanks. It's not why I did it. The reality is, the Regulators ain't out here to help anybody but the Regulators. They're an organization that doesn't have a purpose, except to perpetuate themselves. An organization that exists to create its own purpose. The border worlds are on their own, they just don't know it. Or maybe they do. Hell,
Yep.
might even be better off with the syndicates.
No, I know at least one syndicate that's doing a pretty good job. Maybe you're right. Met them myself.
Yeah.
So, how does this play out now? Or out in space?
He kind of glances over at the display and says, "We're almost where we're going. Just sit tight. Don't worry, Frey. I'm not going to execute you."
I was just wondering.
The next several minutes, he doesn't say anything at all, and after a few minutes pass, you hear like the beeping of the FTL warning as he reaches forward and he says, "Sit tight," and pulls the shuttle out of FTL as you just you see ahead of you a planet, atmosphere in place. Like it does have an atmosphere, but it otherwise appears to be a dead rock in space. And you see as he pulls down there, Mason, you recognize this place from your Regulator days. This is this here is a planet that has a bad reputation of being the planet that people get disappeared to when the Syndicate wants somebody gone. The rumor is that it makes the perfect location because of the constantly shifting sands and all that sort of stuff. Doesn't leave any bodies out in the waste for long. Makes it really hard to find any bodies. But there's rumors of just countless bodies of enemies of Syndicate leaders and deposed Syndicate leaders that exist somewhere beneath the sand, preserved underneath all of that debris. and so you definitely recognize this place as Istelic is angling towards the atmosphere. And as you break Atmo, you can see Istelic angling for just sort of a like a large sort of rocky plateau. He
Wow. So is this like a place that I would know that there's pretty much no one survived on it, even though there is an atmosphere in place?
basically, I mean, like it's not really a habitable world. It's a world you can exist on, but there's nothing here. Basically, there's really nothing other than the atmosphere itself. There's at least not enough for anybody to survive on in any like meaningful way. Um, Maybe a castaway could survive here for a little while, but like not enough to support any kind of settlements or anything like that. Um, it was one of the worlds that was part of the early terraforming efforts that basically just got barely terraformed and then just left alone. Um,
Okay.
yeah. You see, as the shuttle begins to land, sort of slowly landing on the rocky plateau, and as it kind of comes to a halt, he leans forward and starts shutting off the engines. He looks at you, says, "Get up. We're going for a walk."
Mason gets up and kind of just like gets ready to walk.
Yeah. He says, "You still got your sidearm on you?"
Yeah.
Good. He walks past you towards the back of the shuttle, and the opens the loading dock or the loading door, and turns to look at you and just sort of indicates with his head.
I walk towards him.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to go? Are we both taking a walk in this out here? Are you gonna be okay?
He nods, says, "Way I see it, there's only one way out of this for either of us. So, says, I'm not gonna execute you, Frey, but I ain't gonna hold back."
So a good old duel then.
My folks are taken care of now. Says, I did what I set out to do. Says, if I don't come back, they'll be fine. If I do survive, it's a toss-up whether the Alzirus won't try to kill me anyway, so... But I'm willing to take that chance.
All right. If you say so.
The two of you descend the loading ramp onto the rocky plateau. All around you, you can see in the distance like the vast plains of shifting dunes, and distantly you can see the vague shapes against the horizon of sharp, jagged mountains. As the two of you step out onto the plateau, he walks you a little ways away and then just says, "Well, here's good." Says, I deactivated the shuttle's biometric locks, so if you come out of this on top, it's yours. Go wherever you want. Back to your friends. The hell away from here. Whatever. But understand this. I'm fighting to win.
All right.
I will not hesitate to gun you down. I just won't do it while you're on your knees with your back to me.
Sounds good. And I won't pull any shots either. I'll go full for it. Shake on it.
He holds out his hand.
I'd like to shake his hand, and I'd like to pull him forward and go into a full-on headbutt.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hold on. I need something suitably incredible, by the way, but I need something suitable for this.
Oh, this makes me sad.
Let's see. You know what? Absolutely incredible. Hold on. Let's go with this. All right. So, Mason, I am not going to bother with initiative because we all know who goes first here. So, Mason, go ahead and give me an attack roll here. The difficulty of this attack is going to be 8.
It's going to be 8?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For a headbutt? Okay, I'm just going for it. I'm going to...
And this will probably be, honestly, I feel like this is a light attack because you're headbutting. This feels like
that's
a light
true.
attack. So that's specific. Yeah, that is why it's an 8.
Yeah. And probably I can't use my dexterity power shift then because that's for speed. So I'm going to spend.
No,
Hmm?
yeah, no, you can't. It's not for attacks, so.
And it's not for attacks too. More importantly, okay. Oh, guys, I'm excited.
Hidden surprise.
I'm excited.
Like this, he didn't see this coming. That'd be an asset. The surprise headbutt.
It's like a surprise headbutt, yeah.
That's true. That's actually a really good point. So yeah, it is automatically down at a 7, difficulty 7.
Okay. And I'll spend. Oh man, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna spend 3 levels of effort
Okay.
to bring it down to a 4.
Down to a 4. So right now you're needing a 12 or better.
Yep. Risky, but here I go.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and I got a 4.
Okay. So yeah, you. Sorry, what? Was somebody gonna say something?
I was gonna say, can even though we're not there, can we give XP?
Yeah, if you want to.
Can I give Mason XP to reroll?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want your surprise
Absolutely.
headbutt to be successful. That's fucking sick.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Take an XP through the air.
16.
Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, I just glanced over at chat. Better? Chat, let me know. Okay. So, with that, you tell me how this plays out. You grab his hand to shake. What do you do? How does this play out?
I'm just like I step in pretty close for a handshake, and I'm like, may the best man win. And I just go in full on and just bring my head right in at his, full on forehead to nose.
Yeah, you feel forehead connect, and he just kind of goes back. You can see as he holds holding his nose, just immediately reaches down for his sidearm. I think you could probably still move and shit, right? Because you're okay.
I haven't moved yet. My action was headbutt,
Right.
and now the rest of it is going to be evading the hell out of him.
Okay.
I want to make some space.
All right, yeah. So you headbutt, and as he kind of rears back and goes for his sidearm, you dart back away from him, just putting space between the two of you. He reaches down, pulls his firearm, and just begins firing at you. I need you to make a speed defense roll, the difficulty of which is going to be 7.
No worries. So now I will use my dexterity power shift
Yes.
to bring it down to 5.
Okay.
Excuse me, I almost had a hiccup. And I'm going to. Can I use my skill in running?
Yeah. I think that absolutely will apply here. Sorry, 1 second. I just realized I didn't
No
have
worries.
my pencil in front of me, so I'm gonna have to use this pen. All right. Okay.
Can I use my skill in assessing danger to try to like predict where he might shoot?
Yeah, sure. I'll allow it.
I'm gonna spend a level of effort.
Okay.
Bring it down to 2.
All right.
It's not too bad. I'm gonna roll.
All right. You need a 6 or better right now.
Oh wait, am I still flying? Am I still like? Is that still activated?
I doubt it at this point.
Okay,
I sort of
I'll
doubt it, yeah.
No worries.
Mhm.
11.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you as he begins just sort of firing, not wildly. He is firing like with precision, the precision of a trained military personnel. But you are able to sort of like predict it and are moving much faster than he anticipated you moving, and just begins sort of completely missing. You can hear the sounds of the blasts just whizzing past you as out over the valley. With that, what would you like to do?
All right. How far am I? Not that far. I think I'm going to pull out my pistol and I'm going to return fire.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. This will be, I think, speed. This is a speed. The difficulty of which is going to be 7.
Okay. I'm actually not really good at shooting. I don't have any marksmanship or anything.
You are trained
Just realized.
with
But I'm.
yeah, you're trained with medium weapons.
That's true. I am trained. And
Remember that you can also spend effort to
excuse me.
for damage too.
Mm-hmm.
To do damage. So each level of effort increases the damage by 3.
Oh, cool.
Each level of effort
Sweet.
spent on damage.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can hit first. I'm going to. I'll lower it to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Spend some effort. Oh boy. And I'm going to see if I can shoot him.
Okay. Go for it.
4. Uh-oh. Roll a 4. That does not fly.
So, no, that misses him. As he, you take a shot, he dives. He goes into a dive roll and rolls across, kind of down into a sniper position, and just like onto his stomach, and just begins firing from that position at you. Go ahead. I need you to make another speed defense roll here. Same difficulty 7.
Oh, can I apply the same things?
Yes,
The
absolutely.
dexterity,
Yeah.
assessing.
Mm-hmm.
What did I bring it down to? That was like 3?
You brought it down to 2, but I think you spent a lot of effort, if I remember
True.
correctly,
Okay,
so.
let's see. Dexterity, power shift, 2, assessing danger.
Mhm.
Running, I believe, was used.
And running. Okay, I'll roll. I lowered it to 3. I'll
Yes.
roll on that.
Okay, go ahead. You need a 9 or better right now.
Okay. 14.
14. Yeah, once again, like as the two of you just sort of firing, 2 skilled combatants unable to pin a shot on each other as you sort of go darting around the battlefield. Yeah, so he, having completely missed you, what are you doing? He's now kind of lying on his stomach as he was firing at you. What would you like to do?
All right, I will now activate fly, and I will fly several feet up in the air towards him.
Okay, excellent.
And I'll come down on him if I can reach him.
Sure. Yeah, no, you definitely have you can definitely do that.
Cool.
All right. I think that
Guess I can-
is your whole thing, because you have to use your action to activate the thing. So,
Good point. All right, cool.
but yeah, but you now basically close with him, and as you land, he like rolls out of the way as you land in the dirt right where he was laying, and kind of rolls to his feet and fires off a couple hip shots at you. The difficulty of this one's gonna be lowered because he is sort of firing at point blank. So like right now you're this is gonna be a difficulty 6 here.
Okay.
Not to be that guy,
Mm-hmm.
but I use the point blank rule a lot, and actually makes it easier.
Makes
to
it
hit.
easier to
Does
get
it?
hit. Yeah.
Yeah.
In Cypher.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I thought because I thought you
I
had a
s-
specific thing that made it.
No.
Okay.
I also did too, huh?
read the book like the Bible, and I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. There's a
Interesting.
point blank.
I'm
rule
pretty
and
sure it's
it makes-
opposite.
Okay,
Like in
'cause-
from like D&D.
No, I wasn't even
Yeah.
thinking about D&D. I just for some reason thought that you had a special thing that made it
No.
so that ignored that. But okay, cool. Yeah, then never mind. It actually is harder to avoid. So it is now a difficulty 8, a speed defense roll that you have to make.
Shucks. Okay, I thought closing the gap was gonna help me here.
Honestly,
okay.
I kind of did too. But,
Ooh, oh boy. Okay. Oh, I'm just trying to avoid being shot right now.
Yes.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to. Okay, hate. Okay, dexterity, power shift, 6.
so down 6.
6. Assessing danger. I don't know if running is gonna help
I think
with here, but
I think it'll be the same, and it'll just be down to 4 now, like a reduction down to 4.
That's why. Yes, kind of where I landed as well. And
So-
then
Yeah, unless you're spending effort, it'll be a 12 or better.
I'm gonna see if I can make it this time.
Okay, sounds good. Roll on a 12 or better.
16.
16. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So, okay, how do you avoid this as he basically fires at you from point blank range? What do you do?
Oh gosh, this is okay. So I've activated my flying, so I'm not exactly able to. I wouldn't be able to do this otherwise. But I pull a Neo. I do a limbo backwards, and I catch myself
Oh my
on the
God.
back, and then I push myself back off with my right
Incredible.
hand.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So yeah, you come back up to him, and it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I will go. I'd like to get him in a grapple. I think I'm going to get him into a grapple.
All right, this is gonna be a might task. Well, yeah, this is gonna be a might task. The difficulty of which is gonna be 8, unfortunately.
Oh, do I want to do a grapple?
He defends
I
on
knew he
might
was
a
going to
little
be.
higher.
I knew I should have. I know he's okay.
Yeah, he defends might a little higher. He is a skilled close range combatant.
Got up close to
Oh.
help you out, and it's just fucking you every step of the way.
Oh man. Okay. This is a little silly, but
Okay.
maybe when Mason did the dodging of the bullet, he picked up some fucking sand, and when he came back, he fucking tossed it in his fucking face.
Okay, all right, that changes things. So that's actually that's gonna be a speed task. It's not. I think that's not. I'll allow it to be an. I'll allow it to be an asset actually. I'll allow it to be an asset instead. We'll say that. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's same thing, but basically now you're attacking. It's still a. You don't have any XP left, do you?
Nope.
Okay, never mind. Cool. It still is a might task, difficulty 7. But you have an asset because you threw sand in his face.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try to grapple him.
Okay.
I'm at 5 now because of the asset, or
You're
6.
down. You're actually at 7 because of the asset.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Does dexterity help me here? The power shift, since it's a speed thing.
Know, it doesn't affect attacks, but I think in this specific case of it being a grapple, I think I will allow it. Because it does include movement, so I will let. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh boy.
So
I
that's
will
down to a
spend
5, I think, right?
5, and I'll spend 2 levels of effort.
Okay. Get it down. Yeah, so now it's down
3.
to 3. All right, you need a 9 or better.
You can do it.
6.
Okay. Yeah, you
Take an XP. Take an XP.
Okay. All right. Here goes.
Get it.
16. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, you get in like as you come back up from your dodge, you come back up throwing a handful of sand into his face, and he just sort of it's like and you get back up under his arms and sort of like just kind of grappling him, trying to get like a good grip on him there. And as you do that, he attempts he reaches back and attempts to basically he attempts to throat punch you.
Oh, okay.
So I need you to make a either a speed or a might defense roll, the difficulty of which will be 7.
I'm definitely gonna do speed.
Okay, yeah,
Speed.
I figured as much. Yeah. Drop down for
That way-
for the power shifts.
For the power
down to
shift, yeah.
5.
And Oh, the throat punch. Okay, that's only fair. I headbutted him. That's There's not much I can do else except for spend effort.
I think your dexterity and your assessing danger will come into play, but the running doesn't here. So
Oh, assessing danger?
yes.
Sweet. I don't know. Yeah, of course, duh. Okay, I'll bring it down to a 4 then. And I will spend a level of effort.
Okay. So you
Ooh.
just need a 9 or better. Once again.
10.
Okay. Yeah. So you, as he goes for the throat punch, you manage to sort of move your head out of the way, and he just sort of he misses the neck, as it's very close quarters. Right now, this is a very ugly brawl that is happening. As you're trying to get a grip on him, and he's trying to hit you. What would you like to do? You've got him kind of starting in a grapple. What would you like to do?
Is healing an action?
Yeah, you can use your action to do a recovery roll. Yeah.
I've got 3 ideas going on in my head right now.
Okay, well, tell you what, we'll come back to you, and we'll instead cut back to the Harrier. And you can kind of think about it, and we'll cut back to the Harrier.
Okay.
Bina, as you are
Pacing obnoxiously behind the sky while we look at the computer
he's
screen.
just sort of looking at the screen and says, okay. Well, your friend's algorithm is helping a little bit, but
Good.
it's still I don't know. Here, kind of looks over at you. He says, you handy with computers at all?
What part?
It's pretty simple. It doesn't here. He
Is it data skimming? I can do that.
Yeah. He says, I'm gonna give you half of these, and he just sort of you can see as he swipes it over to another screen nearby, and
Yeah, she plops down and immediately.
yeah. He basically
She's got good eyes. She
he shows you how to
this pretty
run
fast.
the algorithm here basically. Go ahead and give me an
goodness.
intellect task.
Excellent.
The difficulty of this is going to be, we're gonna say the difficulty of this is gonna be 7.
Sweet. Okay. Do I have an asset from the computer or from the algorithm?
Yes.
Okay.
At least from the algorithm, yes.
From the algorithm. Okay, so that's 6. Am I visually scanning this information?
So it's kind of a weird check because it is a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit
why I'm trying to.
It is a little bit data skimming, but it is also a little bit luck because
Yes,
you're
yeah.
kind of just going by the algorithm has sorted them by most to least likely. So you've got it narrowed down at the moment. And so you have that as an asset that's helping you right now. But
Yes.
other than that, it's kind of up to you to just sort of pick one and just sort of skim it. So this is a little bit like data skimming, what you can actually pick out and see, but it's also a little bit just luck.
Yeah. So can I use task involving sight?
I will say yes.
Okay, cool. I'd be fine if not, but yeah, okay. So it was 7. I have an asset
Hold
from
on,
the
hold on.
computer.
Give me 1 second. I need to think about this. I'm having
Yeah,
second
that's
thoughts
why I'm
about
like, this is a weird one because I have. Yeah, that's why I was asking. Because I'm like, I don't. It's just really
I think.
particular.
Okay, so I actually think no.
Okay, cool.
I
That's
think
fine.
not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so that I'm going to do. I would like to improvise. I spend 3 intellect. I'm going to gain an asset in the task because it's a task that I am not trained in.
Yeah.
So it drops it to 6. No,
it was 7, and then you had an asset, and it drops it down.
7, 6 to 5. I have 2 assets right now.
Yes. So okay,
I'm at 5.
okay, 5.
We're getting mad. Which also means exploit advantage. I have an asset.
Okay, sorry. That's why I was confused because I thought you'd already counted that. So yes.
No, not yet. No. Okay, so now we're down to 4. Mechanic and jury rigging aren't going to get me anything. And then I'm going to spend... I'm at 4. I'm going to spend 2.
Okay. 2 levels of effort?
Yes.
Okay, so that brings it down to a 1?
2, I believe.
2. Oh, okay,
Sorry.
Yeah.
2 assets, free asset,
Right, yeah.
spending 2.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Fake asset, I guess. Sorry, I can do math. I'm rusty.
Right,
Yes.
you need a 6
I'm
or
gonna
better
roll
right
on
now.
that. Okay. Oh, I thought it was a 6. It's a 9. I was gonna be like, on the knot. No, it's 9. It's 9. We're good.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, you start sort of sorting through the data, and as you're doing it, you just sort of pick one, and as you're going through it, like you're about to like sort of move on from it, and you sort of like you do one, you skip it, you do another one, you skip it, you do another one, nope, you skip it, and then as you're about to go look at one, you realize that like as you're kind of going through them, you realize that the with the way that transponders work, it wouldn't necessarily be in any sort of like, it wouldn't have necessarily logged it in any sort of like chronological sense in the sensor itself. And so as you realize that, you're like, wait a second, it wouldn't have put it at the top of the pile, it would have put it down at the bottom of the pile. So then when it transmits, then it would be in chronological order.
Yes.
So like as you pick one and you sort of scroll all the way down to the bottom, then you find a signature that matches the timestamp that you have for the FTL jump.
I've got it. And she's gonna like slap the guy, the worker next to her, be like, I got it.
He looks over, he says, send it to me.
Okay, and then I toss it over, and we're looking for multiple points, right? That's kind of what the game
much.
is.
Yeah,
okay,
so
we're gonna map it. We make a digital like a board on the wall, and we start mapping.
Now that now that you've got one data point, and
we
like
have a direction,
technically
like
you
a
have
heading.
2 because you have the one like the departure point. So
Yes.
you've got 2 data points that you can track this ship on. And he's like, okay, and he's like
that like holographic map that I pulled up before. We start pinning them in.
He basically plugs the sensor that you have into the algorithm, which then narrows it down even further.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is this guy's name? I don't think I got.
He hasn't given it at any time during this. You're just sort of like frantically working this whole time.
But he's like, "What's your name, by the way?"
He's like, Norik.
Norik, nice to meet you. This is very exciting.
He's like,
she's like, "Excuse me."
He's like, okay, and he's like, here, take these, and he's like sends you a few others.
She scatters them out and starts scrolling.
In the meantime, Peach and Taeyeon, would you've gone sort of like to Iselik's quarters?
That's where I wanted to go, yeah. Unless Taeyeon had a different idea.
Yeah.
I'll probably be heading over as best I can to Bina, I think.
Okay.
Especially if they're trying to log in coordinates. Having a fellow teleporter might be useful.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Cool. Then we'll come back.
Before we split off, I'm just going to say, Taeyeon, contact me immediately when you need me. I'll be there in a second.
Will do.
All right. We're going to cut back to Mason. Freeman, what are you doing? As you've got him grappled here, what would you like to do?
Damn it, Acelic, you need to stop. And Mason is gonna fly up with Acelic locked in his arms.
Oh fuck. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah. You just do that. You using the kind of the artifact that you kind of have him in like a lock and just sort of up into the skies above the sands. Yeah, you can see him. He says, "What the hell are you doing?" And he like is trying to like, you can see that he's struggling, trying to like angle like the firearm like to try to like get you, but you've got him in a tight lock. Says, "You're gonna kill us both."
We don't have to die today. We can fight for a much greater cause than the Regulators, the syndicates. I mean, that's small fry. We have a universe to save. We have many people to save. What point is any of it if there's not a damn universe to fuck around in it?
I'm tired, Frey. I'm done with causes.
You don't have to be part of it. That's your choice. But it doesn't have to be a you or me situation. You pulled me out of a hot spot 8 years ago. What if we just walk away from this together?
Alzirus will find a way to find me. He'll send people, and I'm dead anyway.
Kid me, I know people who can hide you, ass. Not a problem. Don't make me fucking drop you.
I'm gonna have you make a roll. This is gonna be an intellect task. The difficulty here is gonna be 7.
Okay, understood.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be a persuasion task, and the difficulty is gonna be 7.
Okay. Intellect is my powerhouse, baby. Okay. Wow.
All right.
I had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
Could I lower it by 1 just because we have like a history?
You know what? Yes, actually. Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely going to give you an asset here. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
I'm spending 5 levels of effort.
Yes.
And I do have a lot of edge in my intellect, so it's going to eat a lot of it anyway, but...
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm shaking. What did I bring it down to again?
So now it's down to a 1. Difficulty 1.
Okay.
You need a 3 or better.
Not the floor. Not the floor. Not the floor! Stop it!
Your dice just really in for the drama.
Oh.
Dice are also shaking.
Yeah.
4!
What?
4!
That's what you needed.
So you can feel him this whole time that you're trying to persuade him, he's struggling against you. But gradually, as you speak, he doesn't say anything, and you can kind of gradually feel him sort of slowing down, stopping, like he stops the struggle a little bit until finally he just sort of is calm in your arms, as you are up above the surface of the desert, high up above it. Down below, the shuttle looks like a toy, as you are holding him there, and he just sort of calmly sort of like unclenches and just sort of. He says, "Fuck you, Frey. God damn it."
Yeah, you're glad I came back, huh? Slowly descend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You sort of slowly touch back down onto the plateau. You let him go?
Yeah.
Yeah, you let him go. He kind of pulls away from you and kind of turns back to you, and levels his pistol at you again, and is just sort of pointing it at you. And he's just, you can see his arm shaking as his finger is covering the trigger as he's pointing it at you. Just this, and he takes his pistol and just throws it and like just falls down onto his knees and just lets out just a loud just belly yell like out in kind of into the sky. Echoes around the valley all around you. And he just sort of like head down, sort of like on his knees, sort of slowly kind of like collapses down onto his knees with his head hanging. Shakes his head as he looks up at you. He says, "Why the hell did you come back, Frey?"
Because I needed to do this. Maybe it's stubborn, maybe it's honor, I don't know. Maybe I just needed to get you out of here too.
Kind of looks over his shoulder at the shuttle and he just shakes his head and he says, "You know the regulators won't let me go, right? Not now. I burned just about everything.
Well, maybe it's time to make you disappear. New name, everything. I mean, we'll have to check with my crew, but I'll let them know that throughout all this, all the shit that in the end, I mean, we all know we deserve another chance. Maybe yours is not with the regulators, not with your rank, not with the cause of the rebels, or whatever you want to call it, whatever it is in your book. Maybe it's just you on your own. But you get to live.
Doesn't seem worth much to me."
Yeah, well, yeah. I've thought about that for myself. Right after the regulators going down on Krenai, becoming a private investigator, seeing all this shit that we do to each other. We put a fucking smile on it, right? We can't lie to ourselves. But what if I've learned anything is you can turn that around. There's a much bigger picture here. And even if you're not part of it, well, it's worth sticking around and seeing the end.
Jesus. Let's go. Before I change my mind.
After you.
He gets up sort of slowly and kind of like stumbles for a moment and kind of catches himself. Walks over, kind of almost as if he's gonna go like collect his pistol, and then just kind of looks at it and then just walks away, just walks back to the shuttle.
I also just kind of leave it alone and follow.
Okay. Yeah. You get inside the shuttle, and as you do, he settles himself in the co-pilot seat, and just not looking at anything, just sort of staring off.
No rush. I have a feeling that we don't have to go anywhere too far. I feel like they're going to come to us. And that might be for the best for you specifically, because I don't think we should go back to the regulator ship. Yeah.
He nods and doesn't say anything. Just sort of sits there.
I'm going to send a text.
Yeah. Just sort of activating.
I'm going to stand up.
Yeah.
I'm going to activate it. I'm going to kind of step back and like just light up a cigarette and just kind of like
in a tiny ass shuttle with just two of you, just blowing smoke into his face.
I walk away from yeah, and I'm going to send a small message to the groups, just kind of saying it's taken care of. I'm okay. He's alive. I think we need to make him disappear and become a different person somewhere else.
Okay. I'm gonna cut back to the RPS Harrier as Bina, you and Norik are like frantically going through, and he's like, I got the last one here. This is the last one. And you can basically see a pattern. He goes, damn it. He says, it gets us ballpark, but there's any number of planets in that system he could have gone to.
Any of them habitable?
A few.
Any of them inhabitable?
A couple ice balls. Kind of like searching. He says, I don't know. I mean, we could guess, I suppose, but
if I get in the system, I could try to pick up I don't know, any sort of trail, or that maybe that's only if they're an FTL. They probably would have dropped out before they got in the system.
Bina, at this point, you get a ping on your terminal, and you get the message from Mason.
I think we're gonna go and figure it out from there.
Okay.
This is closer than we would have gotten before. So I mean, good job. And she holds out a high five.
Yeah. He goes, yeah, and he he says, I'll keep looking, seeing if I can find anything, any idea of where they might go. I mean,
cool.
Without being in the system, we can't do a planetary scan, but we can do something. I can try to make educated guesses. I don't know.
I have a lovely ship, and you have my comm link. And she's walking out of the room. I will catch you later.
And he's like, don't you want to stick around to fight? Okay, bye.
I'm the pilot, and then she goes down the.
Yeah. Yeah. So you exit the control bay.
I go to try to collect my friends to be like, what? New orders?
Yeah.
I guess. I'll just reply coordinates.
Yeah, basically, like, Bina, you would probably actually run into Taeyeon, basically, as Taeyeon was coming to you.
That's true, yeah.
You saw the
Yes.
Yeah, we have the system. I know where it is, but he'll just have to direct us when we get there.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut real quick back over to Peach, because you were sort of searching the quarters.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have you make a brief sort of like search kind of thing. Intellect task. Difficulty here is gonna be 5, I think. Yeah, difficulty 5.
Okay. Anything that helps me with this? Let's see. No, because I have an intelligence power shift, but that doesn't help with just intellect tasks. That's only intellect defense.
I mean, it helps with. It also helps with like knowledge, I believe. Knowledge.
Would this be a knowledge? This is.
It could be. I mean, I could see like. I could
because
see.
Like, kind of looking to see like. Maybe having been familiar with her, people might hide things after searching many a room over the course of many of these types of missions.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll say that'll work here.
I really don't think I have anything else. I'm just gonna spend some effort.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend what's it at now for?
What your power shift is 2, or is it just 1?
It's just 1.
Okay, so yeah, it's down to 4.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna use I haven't done anything. I'm gonna use 4 levels of effort. I'm not even. I'm just gonna roll. I'm gonna roll anyway, but it's down to
Yeah.
yeah, just 4.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you sort of go searching through the quarters, and the interesting thing is it actually doesn't take, like, it's well hidden to like a cursory search, but like it actually doesn't take you all that long. As you're sort of like going through, it's almost like you, Peach, as you're searching, it's almost like at a certain point you are seeing sort of like an overlay of the room of like it, like just sort of suddenly manifest in front of you, and you can see almost like a very like sort of ghostly sort of Iselic sort of moving around the room, almost like your powers responding to your intention, sort of like picking up on like the residual energies of him being in this room, and sort of you see him like sort of this sort of ghostly image of him moving around the room, and you follow him to a place like basically a hidden wall safe basically, where like one that would have been pretty difficult for you to find otherwise, but you managed to kind of like trip the latch on it, and it opens up, revealing what appears to be various logs and manifests, and as you look, kind of start searching through them, you realize that what you're seeing here is basically enough. It's enough evidence tying Iselic to the Alzira's syndicate. Yeah, there's plenty here.
I like the image of her seeing him, like a ghostly image, twist, like doing the safe combination, and then her running like on her knees and just doing the exact combination and opening it.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, Peach is gonna take all of that stuff, so that we can hand it over, and also just like make copies of it.
Yes,
just
absolutely.
in case.
Yeah. The copies thing is probably the very important thing, because you need to expose that, and the regulators would probably bury it. So
yep, yeah, that's kind of the idea.
At the very least, try to handle it internally without letting it get out. So like, yeah.
Yeah, Peach is just gonna take that and then decide what to do with it later.
Yeah, fair enough. So as you
and then she just sends a message, awakener ? To the group.
I just reply with Awakener. Just Awakener full stop.
All right. So we'll say y'all reconvene on Awakener, with Riot, who had basically been like sitting on the ship, like as you arrive, Alma looks at you, Bina, and like Riot is in the middle of just like explaining, like apparently telling a story of like one of their exploits, and Alma just looks at you, Bina, with a very clear look on her face that says help, and yeah, as
no, Bina asks when was this?
Right, oh, actually, you're back. All right, well, settle in. Are we heading out?
So we have to go, actually. Question for the group. Should we tell the colonel that like, oh, our guy killed your mole?
That's what.
We're gonna go pick up your ship and we'll bring it back to you and we'll be clean, like squared away. Is that like what we're? Should we tell him that like before we leave?
Do we want to reconvene with Mason first?
Yeah, I think if I get the coordinates with Mason, I could probably jump there, and we can talk to them and figure out a plan before the regulators.
That's actually a very good idea.
Because if we leave the Awakener, and they can just follow us, or
with the information that you had, Bina, from like you and Norik found, just sort of like and also the message from Mason, that would be enough to triangulate the signal.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
so,
I swipe the coordinates to Tan.
Okay. Well, you can keep telling your story, right? We're gonna head out real quick, and I'm just gonna touch Peach and Bina and just teleport all of us.
Yeah. As you're gone, and
egging them on.
Both
it's almost like
the two of them are just sort of like standing there for like a moment, just sort of in the spot that you disappeared from. And Riot goes, right. So, well, where were we? Right. And like Alma, who Riot is not paying attention to, Alma just sinks into the seat. We'll cut over to the surface of the planet as you appear very suddenly right outside of the shuttle.
Still makes me a little dizzy.
Yeah, you find yourselves on this on this rocky plateau overlooking a vast expanse of dunes and shifting sands with jagged, sharp mountains in the far, far distance.
No, well, on planet side, where are you? Any way you can let us know? This is a bit larger and
Oh, you're like right
less
next to the
accurate.
shuttle. You're
Oh,
right
right
next to
next
the
to it.
yeah.
Oh, okay, I don't know how accurate I was.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I got us excellent coordinates. Thanks.
That'd be so funny though if we were just in a random other part of the planet.
It's like, oh,
Somewhere
sorry,
else.
wrong planet. Hold on 1 second. So we've got to get the next one
sorry.
over. It's the next one over.
Wrong coordinates. Who's this? New
Took
coordinates. Who's this?
took the first left instead of the second left. My bad.
Yeah.
Let me try
Yeah, whoops.
again.
Yeah, you know, teleportation. It's directions are really hard to. Anyway.
You called?
Yeah,
Maybe
Mason.
knock on the.
Uh-huh.
Mason's actually just kind of standing outside, I think, leaning up against the shuttle, and is just like rubbing his eyes.
Hey, buddy.
Oh,
You
that's
good?
one way to show up. Wow, nice.
Yeah, it sounded like he wanted us to make him disappear about the regulators realizing. So I thought we'd probably do this without the regulators.
Oh, and you didn't want to bring the ship in case they tracked it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. I
You have a
know.
lot to explain.
I do. Yes. Well, I feel like I don't know. I feel like we have a history, and he did me pretty badly, but he told me a lot of things that, well, let's just say that he could have killed me a long time ago, but he gave me a way out. And yeah, it put me in some shit. Like, I got out of the regulars, but maybe that was a good thing. I don't think he deserves the death that he was willing to take. It was me or him out here in this desert. He said that I could go if I killed him. But that didn't feel right. It didn't feel right to me to do that. With everything he's done, I still feel like I felt like I could do better. Am I crazy?
No.
Pretty on par with, I think, our whole shtick at this point.
Yeah, I
Taking
guess I'm doing the right thing.
You took a chance. That's always the braver choice.
And what he chooses to do from here is his decision.
Yeah.
But giving him a second chance, that's what we do.
Change his name and drop him off somewhere.
Mm-hmm. If we get Awakener here, we can get him in. I can keep him invisible. Maybe Peach can craft some sort of illusory, I don't know, dead body that we can, snap a couple photos of, bring back.
I mean, this place looks like it could bury a body pretty quick. I don't know if they'd blame you if there was nothing to bring back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we just some sort of visual evidence, because we got all the stuff to like implicate him and Alziris and everything. So the involvement,
yeah,
that's good. I just don't want them to have any doubt that he's still around.
No one comes back from this planet. He told me himself.
So
Which is why we came here.
Let's make sure we bury him here.
Yeah.
Did he apologize to you, Mason, for everything he put you through?
No. I mean, yes and no.
What does that mean?
The explanation was the apology.
Yes.
And you feel like that was enough from him?
Well, if there are any more words between him and I'm sure I'll have time to have them. But I'm still kind of recovering a little bit. Just need a couple minutes.
Of course.
Take all the time you need.
We'll fly out and come get you. So take a couple minutes and be back with Awakener in a few.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I think it might be best if we take Isilic with us for now and hide him on Awakener. I don't think the Regulators have any reason to search Awakener before we leave. Just better to make sure he's in a place hidden before we arrive, just in case the Regulators come in tow.
Can the ship, this shuttle, is it small enough to fit in Awakener's like docking bay, or is it too big? It's bigger than that. Okay, it's bigger than our shuttle. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if I think Taeon's plan makes sense, but and like maintaining that illusion means Mason can just fly the shuttle back himself. So
yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you need a sec?
Yeah, just one or two.
Well,
I'm gonna walk back.
You walk inside?
Yes, I'm gonna walk inside.
Yeah. Isilic is exactly where you left him and basically seems not to have moved at all.
Well, we've got a plan.
Yeah, I heard. So this is it then. Second chance, fresh start, all that bullshit.
Seems like that now, but there's time to turn that around. In a weird, no, you go on, sorry.
No, just...
In a weird way. Well, not in a weird way. I mean, I'm angry.
Yeah.
Really fucked me over, but if I think about it, you did do me a favor.
How's that?
Simple. You got me out of the Regulators. I had to go through a few years of hell. And concluded in me getting knocked out with some gas when I was doing an investigation on a missing persons. I found out that I got too close to something, and next thing you know, I'm waking up in a pod on a ship bound for a planet, just going to crash into that planet. And I woke up alongside these friends of mine. We got out of this ship. We found out that we had these abilities. I don't know how Mason can really showcase his abilities really well, but I guess maybe he might try to just harden his skin a little bit so that his skin kind of ripples and just kind of looks more rocky for a second, and then not, and his eyes kind of just shift like when they do when they're like protecting from like a flash of light.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my reaction too. But now I'm here. I did not ask for this, but I have found some kind of fucking purpose saving or attempting to save everything. And all I'm trying to say is you don't have to do that, but you find a purpose out of this shit. And I was not going to fucking kill you when you had to, honestly, the easiest chance in your entire life probably to kill me back in the day, but you didn't. And now I have these abilities, and I could have had the easiest time killing you maybe, but we're better than that, and you're better than that,
He stands up and turns to look at you and just says, I honestly hope that one day I believe that. I've seen too much shit out here, Frey. Maybe you're right. Maybe not. Still, one thing's for sure. If the Regulators had had you at the head, maybe none of this shit would have happened. Anybody like you up? If the brass thought like you, guess that doesn't matter, huh?
Maybe they don't deserve that, you know? Too good for them, both of us.
All right. Let's get this over with.
Let's do it. I would, do you eat today?
I could eat.
Okay. Well, you will eat soon. Just don't do it yet, because you're about to have you're about to get rocked, and Mason's just going to like go out.
Yeah, the two of them come back.
Escort.
The two of them come back down, like walking down the loading ramp to the shuttle.
Hi again.
Well, this is very uncomfortable, so let's get this out of the way.
Yeah.
Bina starts holding hands to everybody. You just gotta start thinking about new names. That's the fun part.
You haven't eaten, have you?
Why does everybody keep asking me?
I know,
that?
bad.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
Yeah. Mason, that leaves you just sort of momentarily alone there on the rocky plateau.
All right, I'm going to leave his gun there.
Mhm.
I'm going to go in. Are there any effects of his in this ship that he does
He
not
put his
need?
bag in there, but that's it.
I'm going to rifle through his bag and look for something that identifies him, but nothing that he cares about too much.
Sure.
Perhaps.
You can see like there is like what civilian clothes in the bag, but also as you're sort of rifling through, you do find his like security, like his security badge, basically. Like you find his
I'm going to go out and kind of next to his gun, kind of like look at it and just kind of take his security badge and just kind of like toss it in the sand,
Mhm.
kind of a little ways away from the gun. I'm just going to try to make it look like some action happened here, like there was a fight.
Pretty easy to do because that literally did happen.
Did happen,
so-
yeah.
Yeah, there was literally action.
Yeah, there's like scorch marks on rocks nearby. There's like evidence of a fight for sure.
Yep. And then I'm going to head back into the ship and close up the hatch.
All right. So as the shuttle takes off and makes for the atmosphere, it blows the sand around it, and kind of blowing it out as the shuttle takes off. And as the shuttle makes for the atmosphere, the camera pans down on just the gun and the badge as the sand just starts sort of taking over both and covering them up, lost to the sands of the planet like so many souls in the past. I think that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Damn.
Ugh.
Oh,
What an episode back, y'all.
Right?
Oh,
Man.
Ooh. Amazing.
I missed this game.
I know. Wow.
All right.
Me too.
Excuse me.
Well,
Yeah.
welcome back, everybody. That's tonight's episode. Thank you everybody who rated and who followed tonight. Y'all are incredible, and all of those of you who stuck around from the raids, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
if you haven't had a chance yet and you still want to know what's going on, the context of all of this, there is a document that was a sort of a quick guide document that was probably linked in the chat, and somebody will probably do it again here in a second. You can kind of like get a basic understanding of what all of this was about and what's going on. If you want to know more, want to keep apprised of what we're doing, join us on Discord. You can join us on Discord. That's where we have all of our announcements. You can feel free to ask any number of questions there if you like. All of us are there paying attention to that stuff at basically all times, except for when we're asleep, which, as I understand it, Drac doesn't do. So,
yeah.
You can't tell everybody he's a vampire. It's not public knowledge.
I didn't.
Just disregard that last comment. It's redacted. It's been retracted.
Corporate would like to release a statement and addendum to the previous.
But yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for coming by, for hanging out, for rating, for following, and all that. It's good to be back. Yeah. Just my notes here real quick at the end. All I got to say is remember, everybody, if you haven't yet, whether you are a patron or not, please do at least take a look at the Patreon survey that is linked in the chat. It is in our Discord. It is pinned in the suggestion box channel. Go check it out. Give us your feedback, because we'd love to know what we could do, the things that we could do to make that whole experience more enjoyable for you. So that's really all I've got. Big main statements about like changes to Patreon we posted them around, but we're gonna post them on Patreon this week so that you'll have a place to look at them in their entirety. That's all I have for right now. Anybody have anything else that they want to talk about?
Power Play, not this week.
Not this
Next. Power Play's not this week. Power Play comes back for season 5 next Sunday, Q times 5 p.m. Pacific.
I'm so excited.
And I have things coming that just got postponed, so you'll find out things that I'm doing when they are no longer postponed. So keep an eye on my Twitter.
Only thing I really want to push, actually, you know what? I'll drop as many things as I'm allowed to drop. So on Thursday, so tomorrow, at 5 p.m. Eastern, or which I think is 2 p.m. Pacific, over on Hit Point Press, I'm going to be in a Seeds of Decay one-shot. We're going to be basically promoting the new Kickstarter, even though it funded in 2 hours and then tripled its goal in 24.
Whoa.
So I don't think there's much need for it, but it's going to be fun. And I'm going to be playing a sycamore tree sapling named Moore, and I'm very excited. It's going to be fun. On Friday, I'm going to be returning to Stella Luna's channel. The person who actually raided us today for the Unbound campaign. And we're coming back as Dari, the champion of time. And that's going to be a lot of fun, because I'm pretty sure we're going to a timeline where the apocalypse is nearing. So that's going to be cool. Well, keep an eye out on my Twitter, and also you can follow me, sub to me on Fanhouse at Draconics as well. So I'm going to be dropping sneak previews of actual play that I'm going to be the creative producer for. I can't say too much because of NDA, but I'll give as much as I can without getting into legal trouble. So yeah, keep an eye out. I'm much cool things I'm very excited about.
Amazing. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We'll see you this Friday for Ramblemancy at 7 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to be here with our very own Colin Kelly, who will be here to talk with us. We're going to talk about lore, making it, presenting it, our general thoughts about it, the
rules about it.
The rule of it. Thank you. Same brain cell.
I was right there.
We were gonna
Yeah.
So,
as if that's the worst joke any of you fuckers have made tonight.
I have no right
that.
to boo, but I will. Damn it.
All right. But if we don't see you on Friday for Ramblemancy,
It'll also be the day of Resident Bard's birth.
That's true. It will also be John's birthday. Thank you.
John's birthday.
Yeah. It will be John's birthday, a fact that has not gone forgotten. John. Anyway.
Birthdays are a threat here on Rule of Lore. I don't know if anyone's picked up on that, but that is the case.
Yeah. So, but hopefully we'll see you then for that. If not, then we will see you the next time you decide to come roll with us. Good night and good zone, everybody.